Alright, we go now to Group E. Hag versus Clown. Withered Isle for the Hag. Again, a mental error denied them the win in round 1. They'll be refocusing their efforts. They will not want to be making the same mistake. Trap by Killer Strike pallet can just be an easy way of getting rid of that pallet from a panic throw. So certainly going to do that. Good map for Hag. Pretty small. Pretty contained. It's what you want. What you also want is as many traps out there as possible. You want to deny them totem cleansing opportunities as there's a totem cleanse over here. Got to put a stop to that. David gets the vault, put a trap down. And away she goes. What a horrible totem that is, by the way. There's a pallet. Getting the kick there. There's a line from Dave. It's a trap over there. I was thinking for a moment it could have been a totem cleanse. It isn't. It is a trap, so Hag gonna be heading over that way. Dramaturgy could be exposed here. Looks like double haste, doesn't it? There you go for the window. Yeah, that looks for all the world like double haste. It just kept on moving. Now, if you can push Jane back to the pallet, the trap's over there. They're gonna head elsewhere. Oh, as they don't go for the window and they get caught in the wall. Very, very, very good situation there for Hag. Get the first hook. Need to kind of redouble your efforts on keeping the totems, and obviously the one on the periphery there was never long for this world. A horrible spawn. You can still keep the 3 remaining, or try your best to keep the 3 remaining as the first gem pops. Ruin's still in play. That must have been Undying. Devour Hope also in play, as is Thrill of the Hunt. Trap triggered. Go over there. Go over there. Maybe disrupt them from getting the unhook. Could have put a trap on the hook. That wouldn't have been a bad idea. Get an injury there, hoping for a quick trade. Yeah, and Lara just sticking around, maybe thinking, oh, well played. Maybe thinking about the save. Have a trap triggered over there. That'll be Jane. That could be a good teleport opportunity, but gonna stick with Lara. Gonna get another hook here. Right, and learn the lessons of the first engagement. Nothing wrong with a cheeky little trap on the hook. Send that and move away. The only issue is you got too close to the hook on the first occasion. You didn't get the benefit of Devour Hope. Learn from that and try and get those stacks, because Devour Hope is so important in these kind of game states with this kind of killer in these kind of environs. As Gabe gets the vault. And burn there. Good pallet to get rid of. Cheeky trap here. Regression on this gen. Very good to see. And that is the first Devour Hope stack. Very good. Lots of noises going on over there. Certainly get a trap down. Maybe another just in case. Trap triggered. Can you get over there in time? You can't, unfortunately. The range add-ons can only do so much. That's still aggressing. Movement here. Trying to put a stop to that. There's another gem pops. A little bit behind the curve here. Certainly nothing like the dominant game that you were seeing in the Garden of Joy as Lara commits to a totem there. Gets rid of it. Hoping to at least turn that into a dying state. There goes the window. Do you get this hit if you hag? Well, you get the pallet burn. So at least there's that. Make Killer Shack even more challenging for them with a trap right in the middle. That is Ruin gone, okay. Ruin gone is a damn shame. Get this regressing, get these both under control. Ooh, as Dave is going to try and commit there. Not going to be able to fully commit. Put a trap here that he can see. He knows about that one. But he might not know about this one. Just keep your options open here as Hag. Ooh, and I think they're giving away free hit. Not quite. As there you go, an immediate bit of value from that trap. Reset it. Trap in there. Nice. There we go. Thank God we set up the middle. Sorry, thank God the hag set up the middle of the shack trap. There's another trap over there that could have been good. Maybe you do just want to make sure you get basement here. Now, this is very profitable for hag. Make this as tough as possible, because this could be how you turn this thing around. You want to set up, but not to the degree that you lose these gems. As Jane dramaturgies into a boulder. Another totem gone. Damn shame. Ooh, a panic throw. Punished by hag. Okay. Can you get the hook in time if you hag to go back to basement upon the unhook? Ooh, kind of. Ooh. Here you go. Injury on Lara. Is that it for survivors in the basement? Is there someone still hanging around down here? Hold on. Almost definitely injury noises. Hang on. Oh! Great situation. Okay. Heard Gabriel's injury cries. Probably inner strength in the locker down here. Gets the hit, but Devour Hope. Devour Hope just active long enough to give the hit. And in fact, Devour Hope is still active. And it's that totem over there. Pretty far away. Pretty out of reach as well. So if you're going to have one totem standing, you're delighted it's this one, because now hag has the ability to move around with exposed. Nice. Gets the grab off the totem. So important. There's Dave all of a sudden. Things could be turning around. Jane, out of the game. Final hook for her. Basement hook down there. A trap could have gone hard. No doubt about it. Ooh, hold on. Lost sight of Dave just a moment. The last stand stun. The last stand bolt, I mean. Get the kick. There's the unhooking basement. What's quite good about this is you're keeping the entire team away from that Devour Hope totem. Lots to like about that. As David just keeps on moving and keeps on moving. Commits to this pallet here, drops it. Get the kick out there. You can't be thinking about the blind in a situation like this. Dave, who's been a very, very competent looper. Got to try and deny him with some well-placed traps. And opportunity here. Well played. Well played from Dave. Knew exactly what he needed to do. Get the kick of this. Get the kick of this. There's a noise over there. Lots of noises over there. Don't know what's going on with that. Back on Dave. Double window loop. Immediate move back. This has a real chance of connecting. Right to another pallet. The recent update brought in a lot of not hugely important pallets. But for a survivor like Dave, great fake from Dave. And hag just takes too long. Hag takes too long navigating the wall. Escape DCs doesn't want any part of this venture. Which is a real shame. I mean, Dave is putting in an absolute shift here. Really deserve to be rewarded with some level of gem progress, or at least a totem being cleansed. Keeps on moving. There goes another vault. Keeps on moving away. Got the pallet here. Gotta immediately burn through this if you hag. Just really suffering now for a lack of totems. Made the decision to try and benefit from exposed, just solely going after Dave. Oh, and it works out. It finally works out. A rare mistake from Dave, so it'll be first hook. Whew. But I tell you what, that was unbelievably rough. As there goes Devour Hope. Hey, I tell you what, at the very least, thank the Lord that that didn't go 5 seconds earlier. Get the kick. Over goes to the blind, gets it. Oh, swing and a miss. Oh, but they do... This is outrageously bad from hag. She's doing everything in her power to throw away what is an incredibly strong game state for her. The bot, emboldened enough to go in for the save, is also a bit ruinous. You may be hoping that they'd stay away. That the killer instinct would... the terror radius, sorry, would keep them away from that situation. Okay, so Lara, not someone who wants to commit to those kind of vaults. Get the trap out here. What a tough game state it's turned into, and out of nowhere, really. You know that Dave is going to be antsy to take a chase here to help out Lara. Yeah, there he is. Get any injury, at least. An injury that otherwise has been pretty hard to find. And at the very least, you know that the only gem movement will be courtesy of the bot. So there's still time for the hag, but honestly, it really should not be this tough. The bot commits to the gen, gets it. A bot chase would suit hag down to the ground here, though. And that's what she's going to do. Yeah, and there you go. Right to the periphery goes the bot. And it is just a joy to take a chase like that. Alright. Hook here for her. Dave going for the save. Not going to make that happen. Goes to the blind. Doesn't get it. Big mistake from Dave. Now under threat, under peril. And now you start getting into the 50-50s. Do you fake or do you vault? You get to another pallet here. And that might not be enough. There you go. GG. Alright, needed that. As Lara was on that gem. Blows a skill check for some reason. Just a couple of traps out here in case Lara feels emboldened to go for the save. They're moving in. Because remember, how did Hag lose in round 1? By forgetting about Hatch. She won't be making the same mistake again. Can you find Lara before Hatch is even in play? That's what you'd be hoping for. They don't get the unhook. It's a trade. It's a trade. And you want to get the hook as quickly as possible so you can take a chase with Dave. There he is. Okay. Keeping Dave on that corner is very, very good for Hag. Trap there. Trap on this side. Try and keep him hemmed in. And the more you can keep him hemmed in, the more traps you can put. Keeping Dave on this corner, very, very important. And there you go. So now it becomes really tough for Dave to navigate the map. Never mind that, he navigates the map easily. Good stuff, Hag. Alright, so we get to another pallet. And could be dead hard. A good call at the end there. You could smell it in the air. Well done, Dave. Well done, team. Never mind, it isn't over. It isn't over, and now it's a race for Hatch. Oh my giddy aunt, she might be about to be denied in exactly the same way again. A survivor of David's caliber surely will remember the Hatch and Killer Shack offering. You saw so much finesse weirdness, you saw so much vault weirdness, you felt assured it was live, or even if not, that they weren't running dead hard with the early decisive strike. Well played. David just inching, little by little, over to Shack. It's exactly what he needs to do. If you hag, do you keep on the chase? Or do you head back and shut down Hatch? If you shut down Hatch, do you fear adrenaline? She's making a call. She's making a call. She's playing it conservatively. Oh, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh, as Dave is getting close. Dave is getting close. He's going to be right there. She's done it again. I can't believe it. She's lost in exactly the same way. 2 games in a row. It is nightmarish, disastrous. Think of a descriptor and it won't be nasty enough for the way that Hag has fumbled endgame after endgame. It's a good result, but it's beatable. It's beatable. 11 hooks for the Hag. Clown has a chance. Alright, Larry's 11 hook statuses. The score to beat. An actually beatable score here because of, again, some poor Hatch management from Hag. The same old story. And Clown is no slouch. He'll be fancying himself to get a really good result here. And you couldn't bet against him. Bit of a tough opening there. Troy gets the window easily, gets this one too. And Boozle in play. But you see the quick vault quite a lot here, but not on this occasion. Good stuff from Vittorio. Clown pivoting away. Another gamer heading upstairs. It's Ace. Oh, big mistake from Ace. We've seen it so many times on this channel. Going for the locker rather than the window. And that is a gift for the Clown. After what looked like it could have been a very slow start there, if Ace gets that vault, then things begin to get very, very tricky indeed. Going to put a speed bubble on the gen here. Get the kick. Just for the aura reading. And this is why Vittorio very confident. Not had the opportunity to chase someone like Dwight yet. As they get stuck on that hook. Very strange little animation going on there. Good injury. They kept their speed. That could be overcome, perhaps. Going straight up through the doorway. That connects. They go for the pallet. But no time to vault back. So, Pop goes to Weasel on middle gen. Eruption on middle gen. A couple of quick hooks here. It is exactly the start the Clown needed. And he can go back down to basement. Which, who knows, maybe there's some healing going on down here. No, they have wisely left the basement. Okay. Reload here. That's what he needs to be doing. Clown, that exact kind of situation. Very, very good. No regression here anymore. There was movement on this gen as well, however. Just a little bit, just a little bit. But with the other gen popping, you anticipate there's not too much pressure elsewhere. As there's aura reading. There's Ace, who was stuck in the basement. And they don't get the unhook immediately. You know they're here. You know they're here. There they are. Injury there, so it'll be a trade in basement. That's huge. You can maybe get an endurance hit out of Dwight as well. Or maybe even more besides here. Remember, the score to beat is very high. You don't mind Dwight mind-gaming that. You really don't. There you go. Barring DS, this is going to be 2 in the basement. It will be 2 in the basement. That's huge. And what a lucky find with nowhere to hide, which entirely informed that decision-making. Allowing Clown to benefit from a very, very, very profitable 2 in basement situation. Ridiculous. Back hook, you know it's got to be done. And now really sending the message out to this team. You are going to have to rebuild from a very early position here. Now, what you might do if you're Clown. Nowhere to hide works so well before in the basement. Get it again. A waste of pop goes to Weasel, but you care much more about the aura reading. Talking of Vittorio. Up ahead, you would have loved to have got that gem regressing, but don't think that's the game right now. The game for Clown right now is to try and snowball this even further. As Vittorio keeps on moving. Speed bottle up ahead. Ugh, bad positioning there. Not even going to get the benefit of it. Ooh! Has Jane's been caught out? Injury there. Where are they going? I don't know where basement is. They're both going down? Deary, deary me, Jane. Balanced landing. It might not be enough. Reassurance is actually a great play. Forces the hook. Does Jane get the unhooks while this is going on? They do. They do, just about. Oh, but Dwight goes for the unhook, and you can't do that. You've not got endurance anymore. Never mind, you can do that. Get the hook here. Ace Visconti's still down in the basement. Jane's still here for some reason. Unhook there. That'll allow Ace to get the unhook here, but then you get the dying state on Ace if you can. This is an absolutely brilliant game state. Ace has not gone for the unhook. What are you doing? Ace Visconti may have thrown if there's no DS. There's DS. What can he do here? Everyone's abandoned you, Ace. Gets the unhook. Dead hard. What can the bot do with that? Not a lot. Maybe Clown took his foot off the gas there. Remember, I mean, this is not an easy score to match. Clearly things have gone very badly. And there are a couple of bots in play from the abandonment. But, you know, it is the World Cup, so maybe Clown was wrong to rest on his laurels there. Regardless, gets another hook here. And back in business. The main thing here, the main thing you've really got to watch out for is there goes Vittorio. The main thing you've got to watch out for is the possibility of hatch, and now all eyes on Vittorio. What a ridiculous game this, what a ridiculous turnaround, and what a basement. What a basement it's been. There's no movement here. You'd love to kick for aura reading. You don't need aura reading. Okay, Vittorio. Bot Vittorio up ahead. And this is the game right here. If the bot somehow lucks into basement, it's all... Okay, it's all over. It's all over. And the hatch fumble from Hag has been punished. Clown gets the win. Hag has had such a... it's tough luck, but it's also misplays from the Hag that have been punished repeatedly. So Hag, 2 games played, 0 points to her name. Clown gets his first win of the tournament. 31 hook total, puts him on 4 points there and keeps him firmly in the playoff hunt. Hag not eliminated, but needs to start getting results, needs to start getting points, needs to start denying Hatch, for God's sake. But it does mean there will be no elimination situations in Group E in this round. Clown is still very firmly in with a chance. 1 game left to play. Right, Doctor versus Demogorgon. Away we go. Doctor Nostromo. See what he can do here. Bit of a big map. Doctor can handle something like that, has lots of intel at his disposal. As you see there, the entire team on the left-hand side. Great to see. Great to see. There was someone up here. Immediate chase opportunity. Get a shock out there. Does connect. Nice pallet. And just a nice window. Huge. Huge shock value straight away. They're going to try and get back into the ship. And they will. But where does Sheva go with that? I'm not sure they go anywhere. I think it's going to be an early dying state here. It will be. An early hook. Unless there's a pallet stun in play. There is not. Top work. And Doctor has immediate intel on Dwight on this gen. Zooms away, but not before they take an injury. In the end, that's probably better for the Doctor. The whiff meant you get the injury and the pallet burn. And Dwight does not take a fantastic line there. 3 drops, but then can't vault over. Gets another pallet here. Doesn't drop that one. Maybe got a bit scared about how many pallets they were dropping. Alright, well, a couple of whiffs here. Surprising whiffs to the Doctor. And to the Doctor camp. Shock there, deny pallet. It won't deny pallet, but will deny vault. Oof. Well, this chase should have been finished and done long ago, but it continues. Dwight heads into a locker. Doctor M1 strike again. There is something about Doctor and something about his capacity to whiff. Ghostface in the same conversation. Very whiffable for whatever reason. They were juiced until they weren't. I know. They were juicing and then the juice dried up. Okay, so a lot of gem movement here. Really want to get the injury just to keep on tempo here before kicking the gen. And horrible line there, just getting caught on the rock. Gen kick, no pallet burn. They'll flee the scene. That won't quite connect before they get to the window. Should have red stain. And Laurie knows. Laurie knows that they can't give away the hit through the window. Not every survivor does. Some survivors play that very, very tightly and gives up the hit. Not Laurie. Not on this occasion. As that shock doesn't connect. A surprise. Should still be the M1 here. Dramaturgy. And it's exposed. Wow. You always know that there's a possibility of dramaturgy. I think they were banking on that, getting them to the window, even if it led to exposed. In the end, worst of both worlds. No window and no health state. Great situation for Doc. Loses a gen, but 3 hooks for 1 gen. That is not a bad start. Static Blast. Gives you a bit of intel over here. That's Dwight. They're going to run this tile again. Same as last time. See what they can do. Finesse, presumably into live. Good shock there, denies any volts. Look at the assortment of windows in that area. For a live gamer, that is a godsend. However, they're not able to utilize it. Shock connects. We'll still get to the pallet. Not going to drop it. Ooh, skirting on the edge. Grinding the rail of the ramp there. Almost fell off. In the end, it's all much of a muchness. It will be a dying state and another hook here. Okay, into the middle. Getting repeated value from Static Blast as well. That's been very, very good for Doctor. Just to keep on top of this game. So many games in the World Cup are lost because killers simply can't find their survivors. No such concerns here for Doctor. Taking a really nice line from Laurie. The shock there. They'll still get the pallet with that, so you've got the shock again. That does connect. And hoping they get confused here. They're going to be able to drop. Well played from Laurie. They know their counter Doctor play as well. Shock there. Is that enough? They shouldn't be able to vault that, and then that should be enough for the M1. They've got another pallet, never mind. They don't burn it? That was unbelievable. Hold on. Hold on. The speed there was quite outrageous. That one requires a deep dive. They sped up. Now, there was no dramaturgy, unless somehow the dramaturgy animation was kind of cannibalized by the scream of the shock. Very, very, very concerning stuff. Okay, well, you can't let it rattle you if you're Doctor. It's been a very good game. Back to business. Here's Dwight. Shock connects. Ooh. As they held off on the pallet, but just bring it down. Oh, as they don't burn that one. Well played. Well played from Dwight. They've got to do everything perfectly here, though, because they're in a really tough position. 4 gens left. And this is 3 gens left. And this is a Death Hook gamer. That doesn't connect, which is odd. It's a moot point. Getting the injury. Vaulting the window. Using live, of course. Getting away. Shock connects. Doesn't do too much, and now Shepard's take a hit. And that will get Dwight to the window. Injury there. Gotta keep on Dwight, though. This is a game state in which gens are beginning to fly. He's not been able to get a hook for so long. A 3 survivor game state would suit him very, very well. As they're going to commit to the window early. That will get him back around to the pallet. Needs to be a perfectly timed shock here. And it is! Can't burn the pallet. Is what I believed would be happening. And those screams pretty much sum up my reaction, and I'm sure they sum up the Doctor's reaction. Injury there. Nia Carlson, gotta kick this pallet. Racking up the injuries in service of protecting Dwight. It's the kind of thing the Doctor needs. Needs a minimum of gem pressure. Needs to accrue injuries cheaply and easily. But still needs to turn this into a 3 survivor game. There's no doubt about it. This is a chase that needs to happen. Not a bad move. But Dwight has found his looping shoes. And has found a way. Okay, dying state there. No doubt about it. You take a hook if it's offered. Basically a trade offer at that point. Doctor will stop tunneling Dwight if a hook is given up freely. And it is. Fair play to the team. It is. Boone in play, gotta snuff that. And an immediate intel on the team. Cutting through. Hit on Laurie. Big opportunity here for not only overcharge and not only eruption, but some big aura reading from nowhere to hide. Okay. Dwight's over there. Laurie injured party. Pivoted to the left. Someone's got to be thinking about moving in for the save. Do they do so immediately? They do. They do. It's such an interesting game state. There are paths to victory for Doc. Oh, and one path could be a tunnel here off the hook on near. And that will happen. They were self-healing, so no chance of any off the record. Could be DS. No chance of DS, because they were, again, were self-healing. As soon as you see a survivor self-healing under the hook as killer, it's like a 3-0 count. Green light. Swing, batter, swing. You know what I mean? And that'll be second hook for Nia Carlson. Jump scare. They used it. They did it already. So, nice regression here. Overcharge in play. Eruption in play. I should have waited just a bit to get Eruption back out there again. And those are the kind of little plays that could have an impact down the line. Got to be careful. Static Blast out there for Doctor. Someone over there, someone over there, someone over there. So they're moving that gen. You know about that. Do you keep that gen stalled out, or do you try and go for the hook? Put some pressure on here. They've not got the unhook yet. There was someone around here. You hate that you're not able to find them as Doctor. Okay, Doctor heading back to this gen. Oh, that is such an unfortunate scream. Okay, and that changes Doctor's plans now. Finesse into Lithe. It's some unique pathing after the Lithe. They will get the pallet. Nice. Good timing on the shock there to deny. Burning the pallet, turning around. You still feel like this gen is a real pressure point. But you need a hook. And that's a great fake out from Sheva, no doubt about it. It played well there. But Sheva's doing kind of what Doctor wants, taking them all the way over to this gen. This gen is really, really moving, but they're not going to be able to complete it. This is a huge overcharge kick, a huge eruption kick, and a huge opportunity to see some aura reading. As Laurie Strode pivots to the left, Laurie has been slippery this game. Certainly Dramaturgy, which I think may have been cannibalized the animation, which confused us with the haste earlier. Other haste perks not out of the question here. There is a boon in play. There could be Dark Theory. Just got to be careful if you're Doctor, an M1 killer who's very susceptible to these kind of haste perks. However, barring Dead Hard, it's all over for Laurie. Not all over, but it will be an important hook. Eruption on that gen is huge. But now Doctor's focus probably has to be ship gen, which could also be moving. And there it goes. There we go. Okay. Not over, not by any stretch of the imagination. But unfortunately, you weren't able to keep that gen in play. And couple of auras over here. It isn't ideal, I'll tell you that much. You would much rather have seen all three over here, but you can't get everything you want in this world. It'd be so good to get Dwight out of the game, but Dwight has found his looping shoes and has made things tough. Made himself untunnelable here as Dwight, and Live, and they do come back for the pallet. Sometimes a survivor of Live keeps on moving. On that occasion, they come back for the pallet. Was the right play. You'd love to have the static blast at that exact time just to get a sense of what this team's doing and where they are. Gates open over here. They will not get back to the hook in time. Not before Doctor's here to disrupt. Now, Sheva. Sheva's caught out a little bit. And this is fine if you're Doctor. The unhook is okay. Oh, that is finesse. That is Lithe. That's not finesse, actually, because they're injured. That's last stand. Endurance hit there. Injury there. And they're all gone. Wow. Just so many things went against the Doctor there. So many weird interactions. Quick vaults. Quick bits of speed out of nowhere. Demo. Dead Sands. 7 hooks to beat here. Let's see what he can do. And just when Demogorgon plays well is because he's set up portals around the map. So you're seeing a lot of that here. Early game setup as Ace looks for all the world like he was trying to get Sprint Burst out there, but doesn't seem like it. Goes for the window, well played there. Go for the Vault, which, you know, doesn't do too much. Here, window again. Window's blocked at least. So what do you want to do if you demo? You want to keep them running around this way. Turn the corner. Quick pallet shred. Very, very good. There's an immediate gem pops. That is a bit of a shame. Good dying state there. And the pallet break. That was a weird interaction. You don't often see that. There was a dying state, then like a beat, and then the pallet was thrown. Some very weird server latency there for sure. Okay, so you're looking for pain rares, and you've got pain rares hook over here. Oh, but it is thrilling tremors that Demo's running with pain res, which can be a bit anti-synergistic. A pain res stack is consumed at least. This Tori was hanging around for very little reason, and that could be a very nice follow-up for Demo here. After a maybe bit of a slow start with a decent chase from Ace, all of a sudden, Tori, unforced error, gives away the second dying state. And that is fantastic for Demo. And it can be another pain res hook. Oh, there's Ace, healed, and I guess emboldened by the heal. Looks to move in immediately for the hook. The unhook, rather. Demo's not going to have that. Runs into a wall. Needs a tile now. Might not have one. Immediate shred. And there you go. Now, is there someone going to be there, or try to be there for a pallet save? It's possible, although maybe they're occupied with the unhook. DS, okay. DS does make a lot of sense. DS, though, not the perk it once was. Ooh! Dead hard after DS, but it was always going to be a whiff. And that will be a dying state. Okay. Well, you burned through a lot of Ace's arsenal there and got a lot of intel. There's Ash moving in. It's amazing the gens are moving as much as they are, considering the amount of kind of strange around the hook plays. It'll be another dying state given up from Ash. And why not go right ahead and get pain rares? Okay, what a strange game. Entirely focused on chase has Demogorgon been. And that does get him the pick up on Ace, so maybe not a bad play there from Ash at all. But now, you've got Ace, you know there's no DS, you know there's no Dead Hard. They're the only injured party. It just makes a lot of sense to keep on this chase for Demo. Now, could there be a pallet save in the works? There's the unhook on Ash and an unbelievably fast heal. Finally going to start getting those portals going. Get over here, have a look. Get the unstactability. Maybe circle around here. Maybe that throws Ash off. Ash might be moving in for the unhook. If they do, that could be close to a trade. Certainly a very swift injury with the shred. They circle back to Shack. They go for the Vault. A Vault back would have countered Demo. They're not going to do it. They do. Burn Shack pallet. Go for the blind. Immediate pallet after that. Immediate window, sorry, after that. Oh, they did, but they double back. Good move from them. And then Tori will take a hit. Honestly, probably still keeping on Ash, based on the evidence of what you've seen so far. What an interesting game. A hook reminder. 7 hooks to draw. 4 hooks right now. Dying state there. Could be an attempted pallet save in the works. But you don't want to give them time. So pick up as quickly as possible, and it will be another hook. Demogorgon's 5th. Yeah, definite counter synergy here between Pain Res and Tremors. Something to look into for future rounds. Things are still looking pretty damn good. 2 gens left. You've got big opportunities to get people out of the game in Ace and now in Ash. Talking of Ace, here he is. Pallet gone in Shack. Oh, as they fake out the window, that'll give Demo the M1. Might want to go for the shred here. Oh, good call from Ace. To pivot around, then Tori takes another hit. You know, makes a lot of sense, but maybe Tori would be better suited on a gen rather than doing all this. I don't know. Credit to them. They are making plays and they are protecting their friends, and isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day? Ash is a real key target here. You need this to be a 3 survivor situation as soon as possible if you're gonna only get the 7 hooks, but also look for more down the line. Just break through these pallets as quickly as possible if you're Demo with that add-on. Turn the corner, looking for a quick shred, you'll get it. Oh, hang on. This mid-chase haste is going absolutely wild. It happens again there. Ash out of nowhere able to turn the corner with absolute alacrity. That gets them away from the shred. Got to pivot to Tori. You don't want to take this chase with Tori, but you need a dying state at this point. And shred from that distance not going to get it done. Do they burn? They do. A quick shred there. Turn the corner. Rear up immediately. They stay on the tile. Very surprising. And then there could be dead hard. There it is. Glad that there was a little check of the hook statuses there. You know that Tori's been hooked. You know that dead hard is a possibility. Okay. Hook to the hook. Another survivor on death hook. Demogorgon is playing it too fair. This is the kind of game where in the post-game chat, the survivors go, ha ha ha, fair killer. And that's never what you want to hear. It makes me sick. It makes me sick whenever a survivor in a post-game set says, in a post-game chat says, ha ha ha, fair killer. Because they don't deserve fair killers. Here we go. Shred here. But again, you're spreading out hooks if you're Demogorgon. What is this? Look at Demogorgon. He's the king of making people happy. La 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 la. As it's sprint burst for Ash, getting around the hill. Gotta go down one here because they can very competently and confidently evade the shred. Turning around the pallet. Window here. Not gonna go for it, not immediately. Well played by Ash, but well countered by Demo, and this should be a dying state. Barring dead hard. Okay. So it will be a hook. And the opportunity here to deny this pallet. Because I'll tell you what, one last act of kindness from Ash to the team. I think them going into a locker prevented the surge hit. Kept both of these gens moving. That could have been one of the most clutch dying plays of all time. If indeed that's what they wanted to do, which it seems like it. So, that's the 7th hook. That is at least the tie secured for Demo. Just needs one more hook stage for all 3 points. And there goes Ace. Can you get a shred from this distance? It would be ambitious to do so. Oh, just turning the corner. If they vault, they do, but they vault back. And there goes a gen. So things are looking a little bit dicey now. Not seeing a draw. I think all stream long. It could be our first one right here. There's V. V is a great candidate for an endgame hook. The only person who could elicit any shred of altruism from the team. The gate open immediately. And it will be a dying state. Don't even need to worry about dead heart here. No hooks for V. And assuming that Demo can get to a hook, that should be all 3 points against Doctor. There it is. Demogorgon gets the win. Now, just wants to ensure... Oh, hold on, because there's Tori. Wants to ensure that he can get more besides. That's a great fake out. They were very patient with that. That's pretty good, because in trying to turn the corner, they move themselves away from gate, but it won't be enough still. Shred injury. Do they get cocky? Not quite dead hard, fair enough. What can you do here if you're Demo? You're trying to get as many hooks as possible. Put yourself between them and the other gate. Hope to find someone. Hope that they're still around the hook over here. Pretty good vantage point. But it might be a vantage point from which you simply see them leave. Yep, there they go. GG. GG did just enough to get the win. A 7-8 victory. 7-8. Some real ticky-tacky, itty-bitty kind of performances going on here. Demogorgon just doing enough to eke out the win. Okay, so at the end of round 3, Artist on top and looking very strong. 2 games to play, 6 points total. Obviously, she has not clinched, but she's looking very, very strong for a playoff position. Clown, on the greater hook score, currently in 2nd place, but Demogorgon does have 1 game in hand over the Clown. Doctor looking in a very tough spot in 4th place, but not as tough as Hag, who has suffered 2 losses, has 0 points, and has a very narrow path to qualification here. Group F. These are a couple of fun matchups here. Look at this. Hillbilly versus Slinger. Houndmaster versus Oni. 2 very interesting games. I think you do lots of very interesting chat, but I love the chatter who's just like, lol, haha. You know, there's something to be said for that. And same goes for you, YouTube. I love the comments that are just like, hey, love the videos, keep it up. I can't tell you how much of a balm for the soul that is. Anyway, a balm for the soul for Billy will be a very good 4K here. On Badham. Bad roll of the dice for him. What can he do? Heading to Shack. Potential movement here. Someone goes window. Bit of a cheeky little mind game around there. Leon, go for the window. Gets it, alas. Alas, Billy, if he could only have found a way to block the window, would have been an immediate dying state. Shame. Leon goes window. Doubles back immediately. Good play from Leon. Soon we'll lack the window entirely. So yeah, needs to start pivoting away from Shack, and they do. No one's fool is Leon. I don't subscribe, and nor does Billy subscribe to these kind of survivor stereotypes. However, when you face up against the Leon, a part of you is like, ah, oh, come on. Play true to type. Let's have a quick chase here. This Leon, no one's fool. However, could be a dying state here. Got a vault, right? Oh, well played, Leon. However, that's a decent move from Billy, and there shouldn't be anything that Leon can do now. It will be a dying state, albeit a bit of a delayed dying state. So, first hook for Billy. And this is where, hopefully, the engine starts rolling. By the way, many of you might be saying, Lethal Pursuer did nothing for Billy, and you're not entirely wrong. Maybe Billy's attention focused elsewhere. Fake out the chainsaw, hoping for the M1. Yep. That is a classic of the genre for Billy, a real tool in his arsenal. The chainsaw fake out to get the M1 through the pallet, and Ada not going to fall for it again, surely, so they will burn. Quick pallet destruction for Billy. Ada fleeing the scene. Going to turn to the left. And not a bad move from Billy. Bit of a audacious mind game there, but Billy was sure of himself and sure of what Ada was planning to do. Show the red stain, get the vault. No vault. Oh, vault! It was almost absolutely disastrous for Billy there. But he got the grab at what must have been the last dying seconds of the vault. And that could be a game changer, even at this early juncture. As you have... Nancy gets the pallet. Ooh. Now surely be wanting this pallet over here. Never mind. Great play from Billy. Keeping his wits about him, going for the curve, and getting the dying state. Okay, that's what he wants. That's been the game plan. Get 2 people on the hook at the same time, get barbecue and chili, put immense pressure on the game state, especially if you can see both survivors. You can in fact see neither survivor. Oh, but Leon has been scared away from the unhook. Maybe should have committed there. And now a lot rests on the shoulders of Jane Romero. What can she do to bring this game back? That's not quite going to connect. They're not going to burn the pallet. Do they get got by the rev? They do. So that'll be an M1. Maybe. Some really diabolical M1 denial here, and you've seen it again there. Pallet. Not quite able to turn around and get the M2, and then Jane does get the unhooks. Okay, what could have been a really, really tough situation for the survivors has become very, very recoverable, and it's a damn shame. Do they go through again? They do. Has to be an M1 here. Maybe not. Okay, yes, thank the Lord for that. Would have been some crashing out had that not connected from all quarters, including from yours truly. Can there be any way? That Jen is not regressing. Jane's right there. Gets the pallet burn as well. Pushing them around. Do they go for the vault? They do not. They go for the fence. Oh, if they don't bring that pallet down, they're taking the dying state. That was an unbelievable play from Billy. Well countered, but he perseveres. Gets the dying state. Oof. Someone went for the blind, not quite able to get it. What an interesting game this is. Very back and forth. Some key pallets have been burnt. Not a huge amount of gem progress. Why are there no auras? There are people in killers. One person in killer trap behind the gem, and indeed there goes Tinkerer. Aside from that, just not seeing anyone. They're countering this barbecue well. And, oh, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. There's another Tinkerer. Just such a tough gen to get to as Billy. But he's going to try regardless, because the rewards could be substantial. Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. Billy chainsawing the exact space that Leon had vacated 0.2 seconds earlier. That is such an unfortunate play. Hey, listen, a heads-up play from Leon. And good reaction speed as well to get away from Billy in overdrive. But this has been just such a hard-fought game. It's actually a really good game state. The only fear that you have is that there's so much gem movement here. And here's Billy without a gem regression perk to speak of. And that is being punished right now. There's Nancy. Looking for the pallet burn. Doesn't burn the pallet? Is that because of Dead Hard? No. Taking the hook here. Been such a long time without a hook. You've got to... Oh, never mind, never mind, never mind. It was an awful play. It gave up the dying state, and it might give up Shack Gem. You're just hoping. Oh, hoping that Ada wasn't there as they go window. Oh, and they still counter it. This is such an effective counter Billy team. Ooh, a misplay. A huge misplay. No reason to hop in the locker. Maybe that was them spamming space for the window vault and that got cannibalized by the locker. Whatever the case, it's a huge get for Billy. And coming at a very, very tough situation in the game. There is healing going on down below. There is not a dying state. It is presumably Styptic. Nancy just walking up the stairs and taking the chainsaw like an absolute champion. I mean, Jesus Christ. There's Enduring. That could see some play here. If they fake out the pallet, run into the tyres, no chance of Dead Hard. There's dying state. Oh, is Ada still here for a torch save? Hopefully not. Okay, another hook. Another day, another hook. So now 6 hooks total, 3 gens remaining, and there is a real impetus to find Jane and to secure a 3-survivor spot right here. As they vault. Oh, you were thinking there was a chance that they may be crouched after the fact. So they got this check zone, presumably a drop pallet here. They don't go for the window. Then they do go for the window. Hold on. Hold on. Bite the bullet in here. Well, consider yours truly very confused. I'm sure Billy feels the same way. Back to the gens, I suppose. Oh, what's that noise? What's that noise? Leon? Leon wants aggro. Leon wants aggro because Leon can take a hook and Leon knows that gens are moving elsewhere. Billy mustn't take that bait, and indeed he doesn't. Oh, and just really trying to slide past. Find the chainsaw hit on Ada, not quite able to make it happen. Scratch marks over here. Ada went to the left, so this has to be a 3rd hook survivor. Indeed it is, it's Nancy. And if Leon wants to take aggro, all the better, because that's one less person moving the gen. Nancy up here. Great opportunity. Great opportunity, just hemmed in. No chance of a torch save. Body blocking won't do enough. Try though, Leon might. Styptic. Wait out the 5 seconds. You've got plenty of time here. You've got plenty of time. And send it. And get the hook. Huge plays from Billy. Huge plays from Billy. That is one of the most extraordinary Styptic counters I've seen. Staying cool under pressure. Waiting out the 5 seconds. Nearest damn it perfectly. And still getting the hook. Nice. Exactly what we needed. Now, barbecue and chili. Big gem movement here. Do they commit? They do not. They move off. Where do they move off? These scratch marks with no end in sight are sending you a little bit. Aha! There's Ada. And it would be so good to leave this game state with it all to do for Jane. Well played by Ada. Jane would want nothing more than to be able to just stick on the gen. Not go for the unhook, not put themselves in any peril. But Billy here asking the question of them. Saying, what are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to go in for the unhook? If not, Leon dead on hook, Ada in chase. It looks like it's the beginning of the end. Well played by Jane. They get the unhook. A decent enough time to get the dying state here. Oopsie daisy. Hook on that side. Barbecue. Finally, some bloody barbecue and chili intel. They're committing here. They must have the gem pretty close. Not a bad sprint from Billy, right in action here. Quick unhook. No doubt they'll be getting back on that gen over there. Leon no longer has Styptic, remember. Trying for the pallet. Oh, just gets there in time. Enduring is so good. However, as they don't go for the window, there's Dead Hard. Yeah. Not falling for any of the endurance plays courtesy of Leon, who has been a very good gamer. But Billy, especially towards the end, just had his number. Death hook. And, hold on. Looking for auras. Don't need auras when you can just damn see the survivor. Just damn see the survivor. That was a very unnecessary damn there. Ooh, that was maybe a Dead Hard setup, which would have worked, but I guess the timing just wasn't quite there for them. Never mind, it was DS. It buys a bit of time, but there's still a lot of work here for Jane to do, and unfortunately not able to turn the DS into any kind of prolonged loop. Right, so the hook here. Now you don't want to do a hag. You don't want to misplay this and give up hatch. So immediately over to Shack, shut down the hatch, and then, you know, Billy well positioned. There's no barbecue and chili or reading unless they're down there. Well positioned to deny gates. Especially these gates. These gates are in such a good position for Billy. So you can see that. You can see that. You can see that. You can see that. Oh, and you can see that. Right. Well. I guess you want to take the occasional glimpse at the hatch. The only thing with this is, it is a bit murky, and you can't see the lights of the gate from this position. But the thing is, you can damn near hear the gates over here, so maybe you're not too fussed about that, and you want to just make sure you're patrolling this. What are these gate spawns? Very unfortunate if you're Jane Romero. Very, very fortunate if you're Billy. And that 12th hook stage, we've seen it so many times. All important. All important in this tournament, so this is a gate that you want to be denying. A lot of killers have had no way out to fall back on. Billy does not have that. So can't give an inch here. All the while, the hatch is right there. Jane could be searching around in chests for a key. It is a possibility. At this point, there's probably fewer than 20 seconds left on the timer. Ah, as there's Jane. Good stuff. GG. A little nod of respect there. Appreciate it. On to the next. Fun game. They were a good team. Lots to like for the Billy camp. What a statement of intent that is. And all to do for the Deathslinger. Needs the 4K to salvage a tie. Okay. With it all to do, Slinger needs a 4K in the decimated Borgo. Here he goes. Here he goes. He's got the build for it. A very oppressive gen-based build here. But again, as we've been discussing, he's lacking that iridescent coin. No Iri add-ons. in this tournament. He has been a bit of an eerie coin merchant up to this point. Oh! There's a chase. And there's an injury. And the pallet burn is huge. That was a great effort. Just the zigzag serpentine there. Denying the shot. He's going to go after them. Looking for Gearhead. Might have seen someone on that gen, but wants to go after the surefire thing. Wants to go after the injured party. Obviously. Wants to get a hook and hopefully a Painrez hook as soon as possible. It was an audacious attempt from Slinger, but you got to love that he went for it. And when it's a World Cup and when a 4K is needed, sometimes you need to pull out a play like that. So, won't be too upset that he went for it. You know, execution not quite there. But that could be a good move. And they just saw what he was going for. Okay, a gem pops, and that chase around main has no end in sight, so alas, he's gonna move elsewhere. Damn shame. Damn shame. A Shack gem pops. In all sincerity, V did a good job keeping Slinger away from Shack. That was good from him. No hesitation. No fear. Follow the path, take the shot, get an injury, reload, and hope for another one as soon as possible. Where does Ada go here? Where does Ada go? Got the window there. Not going to have that. Not going to go for that. Gearhead up ahead. Great shot. Great shot. And this is exactly the Slinger that needs to be here. This is the Slinger that has to show up more repeatedly if he's going to get any traction in this tournament. Gets Painrez, and he'll be hoping it's before that second gem pops. Away he goes. Reload here. Okay, so Deadman switch. Up ahead, so you know the gen that was hit with Painrez. You know the place you need to go. V gets healed, maybe in main. You've got to go with the intel that you know to resist. As Rebecca beckons. Start calling her Rebecca. There you go, that will be an injury. The charm. The Twitch charm. They like Twitch. They either like the Twitch or they like the Crow. Either way, I appreciate it. Slinger will be taking this hook. Maybe in the World Cup there is an argument to not have any charms at all, just to make sure that people are properly down to business. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. There's a survivor up here. There are some... Oh, hang on. They're falling down. They maybe didn't want to do that. Because now Slinger is absolutely on them. Great shot there. That wasn't Painrez on Rebecca. So the gens could still be moving. Grim Embrace does some work. Oh, if they went window, there could have been a shot on for Slinger. Can he get them around this wall? Absolutely he can. That's a great dying state. Very, very good stuff. And, as we were saying, he'll want to be immediately over to the Painrez hook. All perk charms to the World Cup. Truly embrace the sweat. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair, that's fair. Okay, so a bit of movement up there, not too much. That again, this again is the gen that was immediately blocked. So this will be the Painrez gen again, the real pressure point again. Yup, no doubt about it, there's some big movement there. Is there a survivor hanging around? You won't want to give that up without a fight. Is someone being very audacious? Is someone being doubly audacious? Alright. No matter. No matter. Move elsewhere. Scratch marks over here. So thinking about this tile. Heading up. Ooh, just a bit behind them. There is a severe lack of audacity. Ooh. Great shot. Just denied them the pallet. Reload right through the pallet here. Oh, quick dying state here would go so far. Remember, Rebecca still has a Painrez token to give. Tried to lead them a little bit. Just lagged behind nonetheless. No shots through the hay. Great shot. Can you get around the hay for this one? Easy. Easy. Handling these intermediate tiles very well, the Slinger. Loses a gen. And no surprises, it is the one over there that's been a pressure point all game long. Still important to go for Painrez. Just in case it's power struggle. Evade the pallet. And there you go. Second hook for Rebecca. No dead man switch. So they've probably learnt their lesson about hanging on to a gen when a hook is about to be obtained. Bit of movement here, not too much. This gen is moving. Someone's still up here. They drop down here yet again. You'd love to find Sable. Finding Sable would be a huge boon for Slinger and for this game. Holding, as they do, that really vital Grim Embrace token and the final pain res. There's a stun. That's not Sable. That's not Sable. That is V, and they circle back around. Get to this pallet. Could be a shot on here. Worth a go, just not quite there as quickly as he needed to be. There's Sable. No surprise they've been stealthy in the red cloak, merging in with the foliage pretty damn well. Oh. So curve around there. Bit of patience to get the shot. Right. Is this a vital time for pain res? It really might be. Yeah, there's big movement over there. Okay, you're hoping you can get the pain res hook before that gem pops, because Grim Embrace would go very hard here. Dead Man Switch will go very hard here. There is Dead Man Switch. Grim Embrace will activate now, and that'll be in there for 40 seconds. Really, really good game state for Slinger. Finds Rebecca, and could make this a 3-survivor game very swiftly. That's not Rebecca, that's Ada. Looking for the shot. Great shot. If you rewind that, look at that back. There was an element of flicking there. Knew they were going left, moved a bit up and to the left, and just found the target. And it'll all be for naught. Never mind, it won't be. Too early on the torch. Oh, and Rebecca can't believe it. There are some shots that simply won't be denied. Oh, dear me, and it looks like it might be all she wrote for Rebecca. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there you go. Kind of giving up there, being tamed, possibly by Slinger, possibly by the Twitch charm. Whatever the case, you're not gonna turn down a gift like that. So things are looking very, very good indeed for Slinger now. You needed the 4K, you have 7 hook statuses with 3 gems remaining. It already looks like it will be a hatch denial situation. So there goes the unhook. So you head back, no doubt about it. Noise notification. Potentially a Sabo. No, just like maybe a blown healing skill check. There goes V. Alright. You know, can't be too upset about that. Sometimes shots just don't connect for whatever reason. That one was a miss. Oh, really just a really good dodge from V. Can't let it rattle you. Can't let it disappoint you too much. Great decision to vault there. And I get some Wraith. And hoping there was a dodge to the right, there simply wasn't. Okay. Well, for all the talk about the 4K to come, maybe you've got to focus on the game state ahead of you. Very happy to accept the stun there. It gets the injury all the same. They go to the periphery. And just very tough to see a way forward here for V. Could be... No, it can't be dead hard because of the endurance. Because of the deep wound. So up they go. Looking for any gearhead value. Finding none. Finding none, but stay alert because there could be a good skill check at any point. You know, that's been a pressure point for sure. So that way, Deathslinger will head. Big movement here. No survivors to be seen. There's a bit of movement up here. There's footsteps to the left. Hold on. Almost certain that I could hear some footsteps there. Okay, maybe nothing of the sort. There goes Deadman, so there was someone over there. The hook was... Oh god, where was the hook? Over here? There goes V. Call her Ethereal V, because some of these shots are not connecting in the way that you would imagine. No matter. Looking for the M1. into the M2. Go for a shot like that. And there you go. Of course, that's the one that connects. Although, Sable there for the protection hit. Decent enough play. It does the job. It keeps V in play. Oh, tried to lead them, but led them too far. And that little stick is going to be ruinous. However, it's not really a tile. Never mind. Hold on. I was going to say it's not really a tile you can get away from Slinger in the midst of, but Sable proving us wrong there. Okay, there you go. There's your dying state. It'll be another death hook, but it'll be another second hook, but not a death hook. 3 survivors still in play. And all of a sudden, the game state might be in peril. There might be a bit of a threat here. Remember, a 4K needed. All it takes is one of these gens to be 99 to pop now. All of a sudden, the team could have a chance. Thankfully, no movement here. We're looking to keep them in the corner. Okay, they're fleeing around this side. Oh, you got to respect the attempt there. I think that just found the brick wall and not much else. That one a bit high and possibly not in range. But reasons to be doing this. Oh, upstairs gen pops. So V's here, Ada's here, looking to deny the hook. And he will. Does she then move in for the save? She does. You love a trade here. You've got no issues with a trade here that turns it into a 2-survivor game. Both injured, both on death hook. That's a play you accept every day of the week. Obviously more ideal to not give away the unhook, but you're not devastated about it. So, now, there is not a gen that's going to pop in the next, like, 10 seconds. Hopefully, ample time for Slinger to close down the chase, head back to Shack, deny hatch. Get the dodge out there. There we go. And then the M1 after you wait out dead hard, of course. The only thing that you may be a bit concerned about, it is quite a trek to Shack. What you're going to do is shun this hook in favour of this hook. And this just means that you get that bit closer to Shack and hopefully, deny them here. Moving over. Still quite a trek. This is concerning. Should be getting there. Windows on this side. Oh, dear me. Hatch isn't there! Where is it? They were ready for it. They've been denied. Was it inside Shack? Oh, my lord in heaven. The offering didn't go through for whatever reason. And that has possibly saved Deathslinger. He gets to 12 hook stages. He gets the draw. There was another. They ran it, though. Did they run a countering hatch offering? And then just hedge their bets. They were thinking that the Shack offering would win out. In the end, it wasn't. It was a main building offering. Let's have a look here. That's exactly what happened. V ran main building hatch. And then, but they thought that it would be in Shack because they anticipated that I ran that offering. That is 4D chess, and it has not worked out for them, but it's worked out perfectly for Slinger. GG well played. Right, so Slinger gets it done. Salvages the point, which very technically keeps hope alive for the Slinger camp. Billy, it's a second perfect performance. That is only good enough for another draw. Really unfortunate here for Billy, but still firmly in the race in what is a very even, currently a very even Group F. Will it stay that way? We'll see. After this break, it is going to be Houndmaster versus Oni. Oni has a real chance to move away from the pack here. We'll see if he takes it. Houndmaster. Houndmaster on Red Forest. And some immediate intel over here. Big, big, big matchup this. Houndmaster versus Oni. Both characters with some real playoff considerations. Some playoff aspirations. And she will start up a chase on Dwight. And Dwight kind of dodges. Snarg, we say so much how the search function. It really does seem so much more powerful than the chase function. And that's part of the reason why they dodge Snug as if Snug was chasing, and you get the speed boost from the trail. It's very good. It's very, very good, and we've seen it there again. Get Snug on that gen, just to disrupt a little bit, but what you might be more focused on as Houndmaster is taking the chase that you know exists over here, and whoever was on that gen has vacated the premises. As there's no pallet burn there, which might give an injury. It will. A bit lucky maybe to have got that hit through the window. They won't be minding that one bit. And back to the same again. Getting the speed. Forces the pallet burn into the blind. No issues there. Do they flee the tile? Do I ever see again? Okay, great. Oh, and they were banking on a little bit more disorientation for the Houndmaster. Doesn't quite work out that way. There's your dying state. Okay. Hopefully no blind in the near future. And do you get over to that Painres hook? Do you know what? Why not take the non-Painres hook? Jagged Compass will make it a Scourge hook. Just anticipating that there might not be too much early gen movement here. You forced away whoever was over here. That gen's still regressing, which is such fantastic news. This is a fine, fine start for the Houndmaster. Exactly the start they wanted to see. As he unhook. Maybe get Snug. You didn't want to send him up there. Okay, well, no matter. There is at least some gem movement. And a balloon skill check up here. There goes V, and you can absolutely take this chase. As Houndmaster here, they're not going to get that window. There's the injury. And that should force a pallet burn. Oh, they were caught in two mines. Probably for the best. There was an outside chance that they burn the pallet and take the injury, which truly would have been ruinous. They avoid that particular circumstance at least. Right, get Snug over to that gen is the hope. That'll speed you on your way to... This could be the injured Dwight. It is the injured Dwight. They've rolled the window. Do they double back? Get like a little bit of haste from there. You've got no quarter as well. Big, big lunge on the table. Do you vault early? You do. Massive. Didn't even need a lunge in the end. Well played. Dwight, if I'm not mistaken, Houndmaster has already hooked Dwight for Painres. May be very valuable to get as many Painres tokens out there for a potential end game or mid game situation as you can. So no Painres. Maybe we'll live to regret that. Sprint burst makes a lot of sense. Okay, kick in the jet. Bit of movement upstairs. Kate upstairs as well. I'm wondering if we could hear a boom there, but don't believe so. Try and get Snug somewhere over there. It just puts a bit of pressure on the unhook. The unhook which will have to happen pretty soon, and indeed it does. Be right back over there. And what are you doing? Using your endurance aggressively? Very aggressive, and that will earn you the ire and the full attention of Houndmaster. You got no quarter. Sorry, all shaking thunder. Why not do that? Could it be a pallet save? They'd have to approach from the other direction. They're not going to. And that is a bit of a gimme. And as an impartial commentator, I think I speak for all of us when I say I don't want to hear anything about a tunnel in the post-game chat. That was an outrageous taking of aggro, and you're going to punish that every day of the week. Unbelievable from Kate. They have somehow pulled off the impossible, and that leads to two gens popping. So not without some semblance of embarrassment in this game. That was a horrible move. But manages to close it down nonetheless. Here's the thing though, two gens left. You've still got 3 Painres tokens to keep the endgame on side. Oh, look at that. Okay, so Painres was on that gen, which is so important. It means there's no movement, or almost no movement, on any others. Oh! A Snug just gives Killer Instinct there. Got a kick, unfortunately. One less. Worth a go. Send that through. Oh, really? Okay, damn shame. And what's happening? What's happening? Houndmaster moving very slowly and very jankily. It certainly feels slower for the Houndmaster here. Hope that isn't the case. But this feels slow. This feels very slow. This is slow. This seems like one of the most horrendous bugs I've ever seen in this game, and you've got to give up on that chase, and things are looking really grim now. Things are looking incredibly grim now. Look at this. Not only are we slow, we're unbelievably slow as Houndmaster. She can barely move. This might have to be us calling off the game unless they can somehow persevere and get the win, but it seems unlikely given the circumstances. Deary, deary me behaviour. This is absolutely outrageous. What could break you out of this? Maybe kicking a gen could break you out of this. Any kind of interaction. Okay, she's not back. She's not back at all. This Dwight takes an injury. Do the chase again. Okay, there we go. We're back, but the board will really have to take a view on this. What might happen is the Houndmaster might get a mulligan if they get anything less than the 4K. So it's kind of like a free play here. There's a flag on the play, but the quarterback can sling it wherever they want. So the Houndmaster has an opportunity here to close it down. If they don't get what they need, they can play it again. Only Kemp won't be happy, but it's what has to happen after such an agonizing and irritating bug. Okay. At the very least... Ooh, hold on. Someone moving in for a very quick unhook. A trade there is sublime. You love that trade. Jagged Compass shows you that that gen is still the furthest one along. 2 survivor situation. White going through blind, taking some aggro. Presumably DS. So they're going to employ the tactical slug. Not necessarily a slug for the 4K. Simply a slug to deny what seems like one of the most obvious DS plays of all time. And if you find V while in the process, so be it. It's hard to argue against Houndmaster on this one. Such an unfortunate bug that stalled their momentum. Thankfully, they don't appear to have paid the price for it.
Extra bones for you.
Okay, gonna go back for the hook. Wait just a moment longer. Maybe send Snug out there for good measure. Okay, should be safe. Should be safe. So now, just need to get to Shack and Hatch. That's still aggressing.
Fire.
Hopefully no nasty surprises in the endgame. As of course, assuming V doesn't go for the unhook, and they do. Credit to them, they do.
Find your rat.
They do run in this direction. They pivot left, perhaps fearing Snug. Double back around here, there is Dwight. Okay. They could still have DS, by the way, but no real appetite to wait it out on this occasion. Nope, okay. So, it's a race. Once again, it's a race back to Shack. Getting Snug on that gen. Moving over. Oof, 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 oof. This is going to be a bit tight. This is going to be a bit nasty. Right, getting over here. Shutting Hatch. On the other side. Oh dear, if he's there. Oh. Misread the Shack, misread the side, and that could have been really, really nasty for Houndmaster. Okay, want to get Snug to the gate panel. Really want to get Snug to the gate panel. There you go. Visually check out that one. Can't see anything. Okay. Follow Snug for a bit. But Snug, of course, will be giving killer instincts over there. So, Houndmaster, one of the more effective gate panel deniers, in all sincerity, with this move. Popping that down there. Visual intel here. What V might be doing is moving away from the gate panel just so that they can avoid the killer instinct. It would be very, very impressive if that's what they're doing. There's certainly no evidence of V over here. So, let's follow up on Snug. No movement, okay. And then switch up here, so we have Snug going back to this gate panel.
Find me a rat.
All the while, they could maybe be searching for a key to get Hatch. Not outside the realm's possibility. It is, of course, no way out. It has been 0 days since Sleep forgot about No Way Out. There's the gate panel. Try and keep them hemmed in here. So if you're V, where do you try and go? Sounds Snug like all the way over there. But I mean, it's a moot point at this stage. The literal only way they could now escape is via Hatch and via having a key. So that's where Houndmaster's going to go. But it should be a job well done. 12 hook stages. No nasty surprises here. Well played.
Fine.
If that No Way Out doesn't pass before the endgame collapse is entirely done. Good stuff. Get a pet in. Get a pet in. Hey. Job well done. Slightly missing with the pet, but that's okay. It's a moon notepad. That's a footstep of the moon. It's all lovely and embossed. And it's moleskine. So it's top quality paper. And I could do anything in here. I could draw something. I could write something down. I could do all sorts. Lovely photo taken by Kubrick as part of the behind the scenes DVD extra. Can I tell you, there was, I think it was in history class. And this is like one of those things where I'm hoping it never surfaces. But basically, there was an assignment in our history class. This was in early high school, maybe year 8. Where we had to investigate the moon landing. And write an essay on whether the moon landing did or didn't happen. But here's something very important. They gave us the full opportunity to take either side. They weren't like, it happened, write about how it happened, using all the facts of why it happened. They were like, come to your own opinion. And they gave us like bunk information. They were like, some of the arguments for the moon landing's not happening. The flag was all wavy. But it wouldn't be blowing in the wind because there's no wind on the moon. And Muggins over here, who had too much faith in the system, was like, hey, do you know what? If they're asking us to actually use our own free will and explore this, I'm going to write an essay on how it was faked. So somewhere out there, there is pen to paper, an essay from me, age 13, saying about how the moon landings are fake. And I'll never forgive the high school for putting me in that position. I'll never forgive them. I don't know what the message, because I can't remember afterwards anyone being like, right, the moon landings happened and here's why they happened. Which would have been, you know, it would have been like, it would have been a bit nasty to do that. I would have felt, what is it, encaptured? What's that legal term where you're put in a bad spot and then arrested because of it? I would have felt like that, but at least the message would have been rammed home. But no, they were just like, hey, listen, explore things and come to your own opinions, you know? And yeah, but not about the moon landing. Not about things that are just real. Entrapment. Yeah, it was like school entrapment. Anyway, Oni, on Swamp. I've got to keep all that in now for YouTube. Hope you enjoyed that. Oni on Swamp. Leon has done some good stuff already. Get some more reading out there, see if there's anyone hanging around. There is someone hanging around. Could be a better opportunity for Oni here. They certainly know about nowhere to hide, though. That's one thing to be concerned about. They're obviously not going to go to the pallet. We'll go for the window. It will be an injury. Gem movement here. Blood orbs, you need that power, and you need it soon. what you can do, you'd love them to burn pallet, because then vaulting back and forth over the pallet is so good. So you take the stun here if you're Oni, and you want to get them vaulting. Nah, they're just going to flee the scene. It makes a lot of sense to do so. See, knockout there for Oni would have been great. Oh, well played. These teams are doing extraordinary work. Got to be a burn, and you want them to vault. They're just not doing it. They're not playing into the Oni's hands whatsoever. So get back over here. Right, here's where you need to farm vaults. Oh, they're not going to vault. Should be a dying state at least. These teams are outrageous. And here comes the body blocks, and why not? Why not after that? Back over here. What is Oni playing at? It was almost a perfect round for this group. But Oni is doing his level best to destroy that, and it looks like it's not going to happen for him. Getting the kick. All we're reading there. They will vault on that occasion. They'll probably vault back. Now that should be all she wrote. This is looking like the worst game of Dead by Daylight of all time. And remember, we've seen the Knight here, everyone. We've seen the Knight. Unbelievable. Right, so first hook for Oni, but this is devastating for him and devastating for the Oni camp. He needs to get the hook. Go on, hook. Hook, Oni. Do you know what it is? Gets the hook. Gets the power. Hoping to put some pressure on here, but my giddy aunt, what a ruinous state of affairs that is. Right, certainly needs a quick dying state here. Gem movement there. Bit of gem movement here. Could it be a survivor nearby? There is. Yep. Major drop of the pallet makes a lot of sense. Ooh, but they're not going to stick around. They're not going to stick by the pallet. They're going to move a bit more distantly. That's a huge play for Oni. Temptation to slug is pretty strong. But he's going to take the hook that he's earned. 2 of the required 10 are in play. And there goes another gem. Ay. Where he needs to go, where he needs to be, is right back around the blood orb. So many. All the way over there. Needs that power. But Leon's right here. And not going to be an injury. Live for Leon. What's quite good about this is that I mean, he almost lost him. What's quite good about this is Oni can force Leon away. That will make sure that someone else moves in for the save, which they do very quickly and very easily. It's just been that sort of game. Chase going on here. It's not over. It really should be after that absolutely diabolical opening chase. Picking up the vault. They do not, and that'll be a dying state. Okay. Exactly the kind of thing he needs to be doing if he's going to bring this thing back. Another hook. Whew. And the pressure is on, and the pressure is extraordinarily high on the Oni now, who was something of a favourite heading into this. That is maybe the worst opening to a game of Dead by Daylight that I, and I'm sure many of us, have ever seen. But, there is a reason why he had them going around this tile for so long. The blood orbs. Plenty of blood orbs there. Immediate power. You lose main gen. Honestly, if you can lose any gen, that's probably the one to be losing. There is technically a 3 gen here. There's the unhook. Can you quickly punish that? Get a trade? Yes. Nice. The stun is interesting. Not necessary at all. It just means the hook is even more achievable. Now, that's the kind of quick turnaround you really want to see. You'll get more blood orbs for the hook if you've got enough here to get the power back again. Not quite. Very close. Very, very, very close. No real gem movement there. No real gem movement up on the jetty. A few more blood orbs. A few more blood orbs over here. It's power time. You need every bit of momentum you can muster here as Oni. To make the save unachievable. To make the save a bit scary. Or maybe you should have held on to it until you were sure that there were survivors around. Someone moving in for the save. They're going to pivot away. Maybe got a bit scared. And that's not going to do anything. Pivoting around the hook. Over the shack? No, hanging around. Oh, unbelievable. Finding new ways, new exciting ways to lose the game is Oni there. Never should have let them get away. This should, however, be a dying state. It will be. There'll be another hook, and hopefully no chance for this team to have made any significant progress on any of these gens. Great position to get the hook as well. there's a bit of movement there, not too much. You're more concerned, yeah, much more concerned about this gen, but that's why you got Pop Goes a Weasel. Okay. Normality has, to a certain degree, been restored. That's a quick unhook, which counters the Oni pretty effectively. You really can't let Leon have the run of the gens, but you also don't want to take on a chase around main. Not with the starts of this game, not with how it's been. Scratch marks all the way over here. They're hiding. They're hiding. It's an unforced error. And it's a huge opportunity here for Oni. If you can get this death hook before that gem pops. Oh, when you do. Pallet save could be on the table. Going to pick up immediately. Is there any chance of a save here? There isn't. So, it will be a 3-survivor situation. It all comes down to if they can commit to the gen. And this will be the one. And there's movement. And there's Leon! And there's a dying state. What a turnaround this could be. Absolutely sensational stuff from Oni after, again, one of the most abysmal starts to the game of DBD I've ever seen. As it's V! Oh, one flick would have had 2 people in the dying state. It would have been magnificent, but it isn't to be. As they have gone all the way around here somehow. They've not quite stopped the gem regressing. Moving over yonder. Oh, but another gem pops. You did not see that coming. He's going for the full slug. He's moving over to this gen. Nothing but the 4K will do for Oni, and he loses the power. And they drop the pallet, and he fakes out the kick, goes to the window. Not a bad move. Gets the injury. Gets the injury, but there's a pick up on Leon. He is properly under pressure now. Needs that power back. Needs that power back urgently. This is the Fung who started it all. This is the Fung who obliterated Oni's spirit and Oni's confidence with that amazing early chase. And might be looking to do the same again. They're going to get up to this pallet. Could be dead hard after all this, by the way. No dying state there. No dying state there is ruinous. Leon and V healed up, which, you know, may be good insofar as they're not been on a gate. Bad insofar as, you know, you want more blood orbs, you want more opportunities for easy dying states. Going up to main, which is such a tough thing to consider. Gates open. They're going to get out. Ooh, but hold on. Here's V. Turning the corner, doing pretty well, but there should be dying state here for Oni. There is. There is indeed. Oof. The hook is so tough to consider. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh, massive! Okay. Hold on just a second. Oh no, are they going to crawl out while the Oni's recovering? No. What a play that is, and it keeps hope alive. The only fear here is where is Fung? Fung picks up V, looking ahead. Heals V. Heals V, so we're around here somewhere. Double heal, the full reset? Gotta get back to the hook. They're there, they're gonna go for it. No, they're not. Okay, circling around. God, you'd love the power back. The full reset is so tough in that situation. They've been getting these kills so quickly and so regularly and so undeniably. It's been damaging to the resolve, damaging to the spirit. Okay, V, moving in. Ah, they get the unhook here. You've got to wait out the endurance for Leon. Try and body block them. Done so. Done so pretty well. And gotta send it. And you've not got enough time, and that's all she wrote. Ay, ay, ay. Just such a tough, demoralising game. An awful opening. Committed way too hard to the opening chase. The spirit had come back in the end, but not enough. GG, well played. Well, Oni ruins the perfect round 3 there. Loses to the Houndmaster. What does that do to the group? Okay. Houndmaster. Very, very good campaign so far. Perfect through 3. That's good enough for 2 draws and a win. 5 points. Oni suffers his first loss. So, Houndmaster on top with 5 points. They have not... they're not through yet. They've not clinched, but they're in a very good spot. Oni, tough loss, but still looking okay with that round 1 win. Or indeed that round 2 win. They have 3 points to their name. They're in second place. And then Slinger in third. 2 points. However, Cenobite and Billy in 4th and 5th in a slightly better position with a game in hand. So very, very, very even in Group F. All to play for. Anyone has a chance here. Ghostface versus Blight. There goes Geralt. Ghostface stalking Geralt of Rivia. Just DBD things. Oh. Ghostface stalking Geralt of Rivia? Oh, just DBD things. Ghostface hunting Geralt of Rivia. That sounds like just DBD things to me. Anyway, World Cup, Ghostface, here we go. What am I doing? I've lost the plot, everyone. I've lost the plot. Okay, taking the chase with Geralt of Rivia as Ghostface. Injury on Geralt. Cheeky little slug from Ghostface here. Came to play, no doubt about it. Oh, but being denied, being punished. It's an audacious live, but it works out for them. Okay, still getting a dying state. Pretty good in all sincerity. Ah, pretty bad in all sincerity. Pretty good. Okay. Move to the hook right here. So, not an awful start, by any means. Oh, so they dropped the pallet. Oh, and they do get around. Now, if they still got live. Hold, hold, hold. Oh, they've made a mistake. They've made a big mistake there. Ghostface able to capitalise, getting another hook. Maybe if you're doing this optimally efficiently, maybe you should be kicking the gen as Ghostface, getting Pop Goes a Weasel, and then continuing to get the next hook. But, you know, the quicker you get the hooks, the happier you are, I suppose. So, good start for Ghostface, and he needs to bring it. He needs to bring the heat here against Blight, who, on his day, has the capacity to nab himself a 4K, you know, as Geralt has done what he needs to do. Ghostface hoping to elicit the mistake. Geralt not playing that game, getting distance. Oof, good play to burn the pallet. Honestly, hard to overstate the importance of reaction speed on plays like that against Ghostface's slippery customer. Could be swinging through a pallet at any given moment. There you go, see. So it's not always easy to get the pallets done in those situations. Decent chase, good dying state. Basement here could be very, very good for Ghostface, especially with 5 gens still remaining and a really important Pop Goes a Weasel kick in the main room. I really like the voice acting for Geralt. Did they get the guy? They didn't get the guy for Geralt, did they? Who, I'm so sorry, whose name I forgot. I respect the voice actor a great deal and I love those games. Forgot the voice actor's name entirely. I don't think they got the guy. Okay, so good stuff. Jen's still regressing. That's pretty good. Ghostface can still stalk here. Oh, and they don't reveal. They do reveal. Do you know what? It means that the time marking was a waste of time, however. Oh, well played. Well played from Talita. The pallet was so bad, you may as well slip through and get the injury. Hello, Zerbs. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Doug Cockle. And they did get Doug. Hey! Oh, well, he's done an amazing job. Okay, so Ghostface getting another kick on that middle gen. And easiest decision of your life. You know they're going to drop that live to get away. But decent line taken. Got another pallet here. And they just held off. Yeah, you could sense they didn't want to burn another pallet. Oh, and that is a tough, tough room if you're going to fake out that pallet. You at least need to be on the other side if you're going to do that, so you have the option to escape. Where's Ghostface off to? A brilliant question. Certainly quite a distance to go if he wants a hook. He should be able to make it, but made a bit of a meal out of that and loses main gen. At least he gets the hook. But things could have been better for him there. Things could have been much, much better. Jesus Christ. I got by that a little bit. Alright, gen movement, gen movement, gen movement. little bit over here, not too much. Oh. So there goes Kate. And a chance for exposed here. And gets it. Nice. Exactly what he needed. Another dying state takes him to 6 hooks with still 3 gens left. This is very winnable. Very winnable. Exactly the sort of game that he was hoping for here, Ghostface. And Thrilling Tremors shows us that there was movement here. And surely someone waiting around, no? There you go. That makes a lot of sense. There's the injury. And just not a great palette here, as we're seeing there. No dead hard. Second hook, stage 4 Dalita. Ghosty can hook, head right back to the hook where Kate was, in spite of the quick heal. Things might be looking pretty grim for this team. As I'm not going to get a mark out there, I'm afraid. But a bit of an odd line. That'd be an injury. Right back to the window. Live. Ooh, they have it. They wisely stuck to the tile. Oh, and do you know what? Oh, bit of a comedy of errors on both sides there. It is a dying state, and it will be the first kill. And a 3 survivor game with 3 gens left. Even numbers, but nothing even about that game state. Things are looking good for Ghosty. Quickly check on Tremors. Okay. Such a good combo. Oh, or it would be if Ghosty was able to get there for the kick. Nonetheless, Tremors and Pop is a great combo. You know the gen that's moving, you know where you need to go. Just a shame that they were able to commit to the gen there. Okay. They've played it stealthily, they've fled the scene. So murky, this map as well. Your sight is really limited, so using the stalk as much as possible. Okay, great opportunity here. And these chases have been very, very fast for Ghosties. Done very well in that regard. Is that live? Seemed like it, but again, they did well to not just flee the scene. All the same, it looks like it might be game over here. Certainly game over for Dalita. And unless there's a nasty surprise on this gen, and in fairness, it is moving. It is looking close to a done deal. Getting the kick. Looking for the aura reading, finds it. It's Kate again. Right now, all eyes turn to Geralt and all eyes turn to Hatch. What you want to do if you're Ghosty, not to say that the chase is a done deal, but it would behoove Ghosty to try and get the hook as close to Shaq as possible so that you can get to Shaq as quickly as possible so that you can deny Geralt any chance of Hatch. The difference between a 10-hook game and a 12-hook game is stark, and if Geralt escapes down that hatch, it will be a 10-hook game, and that's a beatable total, especially for a killer like Blight. So, over to the shack, go stealth mode, any intel, very good here. No match for Geralt, okay. But, still, the game is not over here. Ghosty is not too competent. Okay. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Just wait right there, Geralt. Just wait right there. Lovely stuff. GG. GG. A fine competitor. Look, I cannot pass up the opportunity of Ghostface, Mori, and Geralt of Rivia. Ghostface, Mori, and Geralt of Rivia taking a photo. The camera's gone again! The camera's gone again! How does this keep on happening? The camera's gone again! Ghosty, what a start. What a start. Needed that for sure. Ghostface was in a really horrible spot there. Bottom of the group, no points, just 1 loss and only 4 hooks to his name. If he can get an upset victory over Blight, that will go a great way to giving him hope for an outside chance of a playoff run. We go now to Blight, who I seem to recall has had a couple of absolutely dominant games here. Thought you meant you were going to see a Jason Donovan gig. No, there was a little van that would park up in the city centre of Bristol. Well, on the triangle in Bristol, around Clifton. And it just did Donner meat and chips, and it's called Jason Donner Van. And it's a bit of an institution at this point. What a start. Just had the sense that someone was hanging around back there. Early injury for Blight in the Larry's Memorial Institute, which is where he will be trying to close down the gap. Oh, Sable is stopping and staring on the hook there. Are they playing? Oh dear. Oh dear. It might be a full AFK scenario on the part of Sable. Blight's going to get the hook, but there is a very real possibility that might have to be a replay based on how Sable performs as the game continues. Kicking the gen, turning around the corner. There's a Devour Hope stack. Let's have a look here, because if a survivor is fully AFK, that will be grounds to render the game null and void. But if Sable starts playing now, they start playing, okay. The game's back. There they are. Good injury there. Don't know how that connected. Good play from Sable, honestly. It looked like they had countered the Blight rush there, but somehow the effective range of the lethal rush did connect. Rush there. Using Blood Favor to try and keep them away from that pallet. Does work, but they get this pallet here. Burn it, move around. Ooh, and an opportunity to go after someone else, which probably you want if you Blight. First chase, a little bit tiresome, and there's your dice. Good stuff. Maybe you want to make sure that you can get this gem regressing. Give it a kick. Sable may be hanging around, feeling bad about the sandbag, looking to move it again. What DPI are you? Yeah, I have no idea. I'm sorry to say. Which might be an aggravating answer to some, but I can't lie to you. Okay. Any gem movement here? No, alas. Ooh, but there is a survivor here. Just saw some fleeting scratch marks. Ooh, a couple of gem spot. That's rough. That's rough. Burning the pallet, vaulting over. Do they vault back? They do not. Injury there. Rushing. Oh, Blight's revolted, and so am I. Not punished, but my god. How does that not hit? We've been seeing a lot of whiffs so far today, so far in this round. And that is one of them. Good Lord in heaven. No matter, no harm, no foul. There's the hook. Is this gen still regressing? Ah. Trying to rush around to get boost, but not quite able to do so. The other hook over here. Ooh, not quite the heel. And that will be... My giddy art. Some of these whiffs are outrageous. Oh, but then you get kind of granted a hit through the pallet there. You've got to be a little bit disappointed by that if you're Lara. I'll be into another hook here. Blood Favor means you've got no concerns about walking right onto that pallet. And they get the unhook. So, Devour Hope exposed status is in effect. I'm going to get back there as soon as possible. There is gem movement here. Not a single totem's been cleansed yet. Blight's got his eyes open looking for potential pentimento situations. Seeing none. And there's the 4th stack of Devour Hope. Undying still in place, so even if they find it, it's likely they're not going to be able to cleanse it immediately. No gem movement there. The heal on the hook. Okay, well. Blight's been a little bit fooled by that one. Oh my god, what a rush. An unbelievably lengthy rush there. Now, remember, Blight has the hold that thought. What on earth? Blight has exposed M1s here. So if they drop that pallet, not the end of the world, there's your dying state. So, there you have it, Devour Hope kicking into high gear. On the next unhook, Mories are in play, and with how Blight spread out these hooks, that could be very important indeed. So, things are looking up for the Blight camp. There goes a totem. Likely to be Undying, although not necessarily Undying with the way Undying works. Pentimento in play. The unhook back there. Survivor's playing it very, very safe here, and you can understand why, given the circumstances. Using the rush to swing through. There goes another totem. That really could be Devour. There is a chance. See if Devour or Ruin at this stage. You're really hoping it is Ruin. Ruin's kind of a moot point. Maybe at this stage in the game. Devour could still be very, very impactful. How has he done that? He's swung through the pallet and through Lara. And Lara has pulled a rabbit out of a hat. They missed entirely with the torch. And there goes Devour Hope. Well, well, well. Lara has somehow, some way, found a way to make magic happen. However, there they go. One could Mori, no real reason to. The hook is quicker, and it will be a kill either way. But 2 gens left. From what looked like a very dominant position, all of a sudden, the survivors have a chance. Devour Hope is still in play. And that is so vital for Ghostface. Live there is rotten to see. You need an M1 here. It's very important. Well played from Sable. AFK at the start. They've found their keyboard now. And there goes Devour. Possibly. Possibly. Or that's the second Pentimento stack. But here's the thing now, is Blight going to lose the game in just simply trying to make Devour Hope happen? Oh my lord! It is, Devour Hope is still in play, and you are going to get a Mori here. And that is so important. If Sable keeps that going, and gives time for the team to cleanse Devour, things will be looking very, very grim. Are they in the... Wicked Part 2. Coming to cinemas soon. Okay. Back on the gens here. 2 survivor game. Still everything to play for. It's not over, but a very, very important exchange there that favours Blight immensely. And up they go. They actually keep on moving around here. Would have hoped to have closed the distance a bit more quickly than that. No matter. There goes V. It's balanced landing. Presumably. Perhaps live, but it seems more like balanced to me. Either way, they'll be exhausted here, so hopefully no funny business with this chase. There you go. Now, Blight, not going to Mori here. Not going to Mori. You want to take your hook, you want to try your best to deny them hatch. Remember, it is a 4K necessary. Nothing else will do, so a hatch escape is a loss. Bit of movement here. Hoping to spy Yui somewhere out there. And they do get the unhook. Got to head back there immediately. You really want to keep both survivors in sight. And Blight, it seems, has failed to do so. Never mind. Scratch marks here. Okay, so again, you've got to go Mori. Go. Now can you find V? Such a shame you weren't able to keep track of both survivors. Oh! Oh! This could be the end! It could be all she wrote! Could have been dead hard. GG. GG. Devour Hope carrying a little bit there. Some overlong chases, particularly as Blight tried to pivot more to the M1. But did what he needed to do. Such a shame for Ghostface, who really pulled out all the stops to get the 4K, but then but then Blight, responds with relative ease. As the first game of round 3 for Group G concludes with a 12-12 draw. Blight continues his perfect campaign in terms of hooks. Good for 5 points. Ghostface gets his first point in the tournament. 16 hooks total. We're finishing off Group G. Wraith versus Singularity. Wraith in a pretty strong position here. Singularity, no points to its name. Needs a win. Wraith, World Cup outing. The Wraith second to the tournament. Finds Dwight. Looking for an immediate injury. Turn it into a dying state. As Dwight heads all the way over to the periphery. Gets the Tanuki. Wonderful stuff. Dying state. It's a bit of a gift. No room for memory in this tournament. And they've DC'd. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And I'm hearing from the board immediately, and they're saying null and void. Wraith has to go again. Right, Wraith now in Wreckers. Last game called null and void due to an immediate DC. Had a bit of a warm-up. It was a pretty good game, all things considered. Looking for more of the same here as Leon looks to get to the pallet. Does. Hoping for the immediate burn. You don't get it. Just getting a sense of what sort of Leon you had there. And it looks like you got a pretty decent Leon. Oh, hang on, hang on. Going to try and get into the building. No, they're not. They're going to take an injury. No pallet burn there. Cloaking up again. A quick dying state here would be just the thing for Wraith. Can you get around Leon? Not quite. Trying to jostle them for position. Stun there. It is what it is. At that point, you might be saying, fair play. Gotta be heading elsewhere. It's a shame. You would, of course, love the dying state, but failing that, you've got to be going after other survivors. And they just flee the tile entirely. Fair play to Nancy. Gets to another pallet here. Burning immediately. Okay. Don't cloak. Put some pressure on here. Just the one survivor. Umbrella Rose and Shaq. So you've got 2 survivors now on Shaq. Nancy in Shaq, Umbrella Rose fleeing it. You go for the survivor. Obviously no longer in Shaq, but they find another pallet. They don't burn it. Should be an injury here. There is. Leon unfortunately healed up. to go around the school buses. Oh! And pivot around the other side. Trying to get ahead of them here. Act disruptively. Not able to do so. Orella finds a window. This is looking very, very tough for Wraith. Far tougher than the game that was called Null and Void. A tough luck situation for Wraith. May have found a far scarier team here. Has to break another pallet. 2 gens pop. And Wraith just moving to and fro between the pallets. Sprint burst for Nancy. Not quite. Another injury. But finds yet another pallet. Deary me. As Wraith maybe uncloaks in a bad spot as Nancy finds another pallet. Gotta just brute force it. Gotta break it. Okay. Another gen pops. Wraith has to pivot now. Goes to Shaq. 3 survivors all here. Okay, this is amazing for Wraith. Good injury on Claudette as she finds another pallet. She flees that pallet. She could be in trouble. Never mind, there's another pallet. Wraith uncloaking. Have to hope that they get greedy here. They do not. They throw the pallet as Wraith has to break another pallet. Cloaking up his Wraith. Going back after Claudette. No pallets in this tile. Just 2 windows. Never mind, there's another pallet. As they, of course, break it. Wraith kicks. Pivots to the left. Shouldn't be anything for Claudette to find now. Pallet's pretty depleted on this side. Heads to the buses, where they'll find another pallet. Wraith cloaks up and kicks. Back on Claudette. You have to go after an injured party here. You have to close this down. You just need a hook. You need it desperately at this stage. You need pain res, as they'll get to the window. And they do make that. Cloaking up again is Wraith. Claudette through main building, heads to the other side of the map, finds another pallet. They'll drop it. Wraith kicks. 1 gen left. Gotta keep on Claudette. You need this dying state. You need it so urgently as Claudette finds another pallet. Wraith hoping they fake it out. They do! Wraith kicks the pallet and gets the hook. Good stuff from Wraith. Pain res. Right, so 1 hook, 1 gen. Sounds like a pretty even game state to this customer. Away he goes. Surely some issues with how he's playing. No doubt about it. But hard luck. Hard luck on the spread of pallets. And not finding a way to move between them quickly enough to deny. As Nancy goes to the vault, doesn't get it. Injury there. You can't be too worried about kicks if you're Wraith. You want to be getting dying states. You want to be getting pain res hooks. That's what he's going to try and do here. As they go window, do they double back? They do not. Good aura reading from Wraith. Lets him know exactly where Nancy's going. Good line taken. No dead hard. It'll be another pain res hook. Hopefully, before that gem pops. That's what he needs. Oh, dearie me. You can't get over there. You can't get over there. Wraith's been denied the pain res spawn he so richly craved. Gotta stop this. Gotta stop this. Do they commit? Oh, okay. Good play from Wraith. As Orella Rose finds another pallet. Doesn't drop it, though. Surely confident that there is another pallet at some point in the future. There might not be. They have to go for a window. Breaking out the pallet meta with a window. Can't double back. There's a dying state. Okay, can you get to a pain res hook from here? What? There it is. Huge. What a huge play that might have been from Wraith to kick the gen, deny them the chance to pop it after taking a hit. Pain res now on the gen. Things could be moving in a Wraithly direction as Leon's going to try and stop it regressing. Not quite able to do so. Good to know. It means that they are still committing to that gen. Hopefully that buys Wraith a bit of time on the other gens. However, there is still Nancy and Claudette unaccounted for. Injury on Leon. Cloaking up again. Aura reading. Leon flees the tile. Ah, but circles around. Bit of a weird angle for that window. Not for that one, though. Leon gets it. Needing a dying state desperately here. And it'll be close. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get it, and Leon loves the windows here. Going to go right back to them. Doesn't commit to that one, though. Good play, in all sincerity, from Leon. The vault here. Okay, and that'll be all she wrote. But it's in the dead zone. It's almost as if the survivors know. Wraith's going to play it aggressively. Try and get over to the Painless Hook over here. It should be makeable. There's another pallet. It should be makeable. The only question is, does the gem pop before Wraith gets there? Oh, it'll be close. Oh, it'll be close. Oh, it is close. And in maybe the most heartbreaking set of events of all time, Leon hops off the shoulder exactly as the gem pops. This might be one of the most regrettable, nasty games of Dead by Daylight we've ever seen. Leon heads upstairs. Barring balanced landing, there should still be an opportunity for a dying state here. They don't go for the window, interestingly enough, because they found another pallet. Faking around, they burn immediately. They're very used to that. And take the dying state. Well, here's the thing. Wraith at least has an endgame hook. Needs to find it, needs to get it in a place that's as far away from the gates as possible, so going to try and get all the way over to this corner. Arella, taking a hit would deny hook here, but they've not found a way to do so. There is the hook. Okay, Wraith's going to try and play it as aggressively as possible. The hook is sufficiently far away from the gates that you might be able to take them by surprise if you do flee the scene. As you're trying to keep an eye on where Arella's going. Going to Shack. Okay. Do they vault immediately? They do not, of course not. Vaulting there. That should force the pallet burn. As Arella Rose does find a pallet and drops it. Wraith dutifully kicks. It's leg day for Wraith, as Arella Rose finds another pallet. Doesn't burn it. Flees it, in fact. Doubling back. Again, trying to deny them that easy line to the pallet. And does so. Gates open, but all of a sudden, things might be looking a little bit tough. Wraith can counter body blocking by just doing that. And away he goes. As Arella Rose around the right-hand side. Ooh, as Nancy not able to take the hit there. Arella pivots back to Shack. Now, clearly 4 hooks is not going to get it done. But the gates are open. The timer is ticking. It's all about what this team now does. They burn the pallet. Wraith isn't going to kick. Not yet. Injury on Nancy. That's an unproductive hit because Arella is still stuck in the tile. Getting the kick. What's really nice about this for Wraith is how far away they are from the gate. How does the team play this? Because sooner rather than later, they will surely be thinking about giving away hatch by just leaving. So you want to try and forestall that. Get the dying state, get the hook, and issue the challenge, nay, the ultimatum to the team. Do you want to go for this save? It's going to be risky. As Wraith's going to play it aggressively. You're looking for Claudette here, because Claudette is the only person, you know, healthy, who may well feel emboldened enough to go for the save. As Nancy heals up as well. To me, it feels like Leon's over here. Oh, and you want to encourage them to go for the save. Nothing will happen. Nothing will come of the Wraith going after them. But as they move in, as they move in, as they move in. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, you might be thinking that the timer is the play to be making. They're going to all move in for the unhook. There's Wraith. Okay. And there is the unhook. How long left on that timer? They have got a great distance to go. This is full body block protocol here for Wraith. And it starts with Claudette over here. Oh, not a good start. Trying to get ahead. Turning the corner is Claudette. Body blocking is Wraith. Trying to be disruptive. How much time left? How much time left? Oh, just too much. Just too much time. Leon is stopping, staring. They've all left, and so will Leon. It was a good idea from the Wraith, but maybe just underestimated the amount of time left on the timer. Singularity on Greenville Square. Needs biopods. Needs them immediately. Not a great start. How about one right on the gentleman's face? Aha. Okay. On the periphery there. Good coverage. Good coverage already. Head back to the cinema. Get some overlook going on there. One on the front of Shack. One on the side. One on the side. One on this tile. How many you got left? Only 2 left? Okay, hang on. Don't do that. Maybe have one just looking at this gen. Oh, right there. Deary me. Blinded by that room. And then one just right on this tile like that. Okay. Gem pops. The bipod placement actually arse. Actually not good at all. Oh, there you go. Got one out there. Not gonna be able to see them again, but at least there's some intel for where Singularity should head. Okay. Oh, damn. Really wanted to teleport there, not able to do it. And it looks like they maybe had an EMP. They did, so got rid of that. Really? There we go. There's a teleport. Okay, good start. Oh, really looking to punish the medium vault there. Not able to do so. There goes the EMP. And what should have been a very beatable total might be enough with how the early game's going for Singularity here. EMP has obviously affected that biopod. As they reapply the slipstream. Could be a locker play. More likely deception, but worth a look on the off chance. Just on the off chance that they were there. Okay. Wow. Looking pretty damn grim. The lowest total hook status is in any one matchup so far has been 12. That looks like it could change here. Good hit there. Have a teleport to break that pallet. Okay.
Terrible construction.
Ooh. Just missing the teleport opportunity there. Gets it, but here comes the here come the body blocks from V. Finally, a hook, barring some kind of hook denial antics from the team. And you get machine learning. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This was an accidental biopod shot earlier as Singularity tried to teleport. That's not going to do too much. Nothing going on up here. Time to move the biopods. Perhaps. Perhaps time to move the biopods. Keep these few remaining gens under pressure. That seems right. Okay, one right there. It's the worst call of all time. Singularity choosing to biopod rather than just taking the chase and maybe denying the gen, although probably very little chance to do so. It is a gate situation. One hook obtained. Who would have thought that the 5 hook total would end up looking this dominant, this unbeatable? It'll be a dying state. But will it be too little too late? There is no way out, but obviously only one stack to it.
Gene secure.
Okay. 2 hooks. 3 more required for the draw. 4 required, obviously, for the win. Oh, another EMP. Denying the slipstream there. Just getting countered at every conceivable turn. Got to go back to Blight. Here. As you went the other side around that. Slipstream there, very important. Not able to get the teleport. Finally able to get the teleport. Bridge up there. Quick kick. Things are looking okay.
Calculated
Deception in that locker. This Singularity is no fall. Dwight goes into the other locker. Okay, a decent play. A decent play. Takes Singularity to 3 hooks. Things are getting very interesting indeed. No gate, well, some gate movement here, but not in 99's gate, which is very intriguing. Saw an aura there, but no sight on where they went thereafter. Now you don't want to go after Dwight. Now you want to encourage more unhooks. Getting the death hook on Dwight will not win you the game. It won't even tie the game. You need someone who has more hook statuses to give. This is the right play from Singularity. They have, however, got an EMP. She needs to get, like, 1 teleport out there. Never mind, they get rid of the biopod. Get to the window. The gate is very far away, however. Oh, and of course the EMP. The EMP gets rid of the biopod. Vault back again. Do they see that coming? They do not. Okay, good move from Singularity. V has no hooks to her name. So, if she were to die on hook, Sable takes a hit there. If she were to die on hook, that would hand the victory over to Singularity. That's what he's fighting for here, and that's why he's not taking a hit on Sable. Dying straight there on V. Getting the hook. And you're going to defend this to within an inch of your life if you're Singularity. Hook here. Takes Singularity to 4. 5 the total for a draw. 6 for a win. How do the team play this? Injury there. Trade. Trade is absolutely fine. A trade is magnificent, in fact. So, after a really, really awful game, Singularity has the draw. 1 more hook status for the win. 1 more trade for the win. 1 more instance of Meg going through hook stages for the win. It is now a very, 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 very thin path to any points at all for Wraith. Saber around the back. V around the rock here. There is a way to do this if you're this team. Someone needs to take a hit, the other person needs to move in. Injury there. Sable gets injured too. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Where's the gate? Off to the left. Simply not enough. Not close enough to make this happen. You just need to find an injured party, and that's what Singularity's doing. Pivoting around. Dwight needs to take a hit here. Might be able to. No, not able to. Deftly maneuvering. Dead hard would have been ruinous. Playing it safe. Taking the hook. And it'll be the win. As they're all there, okay. Dead hard. From V, legitimately well played. Injury there. Should be a trade here on Dwight. It will be. Injury on Meg. But hold on, because V's all the way over here now. Sable's right there. The timer ticking down. The play you might need to be making, if your Singularity, is trying to maximize dying states here. Does Sable have time to crawl out? Pick up Dwight here. Sable doesn't get out. Dwight doesn't get out. How many hook states does that leave Singularity on? Looks like it'll be 8. +1, +2 on the bottom left there. There goes 1. There goes another. Well, out of an entirely awful game, 1 hook state with all the gens completed, Singularity has somehow come away with a pretty respectable 8 hook total. GG well played. On top spot is Blight with 5 points. In second is Wraith with 4. Now all of the other killers have a game in hand. Singularity in third on 3 points. Onreal in fourth also has 3 points, lower number of hooks. And Ghostface, bottom of the group, 1 point. But still, all to play for in Group G. As we go to a very, very, very even group here. Group H. Group H. Dark Lord, Xenomorph, Dredge, and Krasue all on 3 points. Skull Merchant on 0 points, but also has a game in hand here. Skull Merchant, Macmillan. Send it here, get it sent. Okay. Gonna pivot to main immediately. These doors can be so ruinous, so wants to get rid of those immediately. Aha! Does someone drop down right away? What a shame. What a shame. Would have been great if they had. Ooh, as they went for the window. They don't get it. They get got by the drone. Skull Merchant actively using her radar. You can tell she means business. And it's Rick Grimes with the pallet stuff. And Thwack doing some good stuff there. Let's get a drone up on this tile. Does so. Pallet comes down immediately. Rick flees the scene. Skull Merchant would have been in the green room watching the Wraith's game. Doesn't want to fall into the same trap. Leaving the pallet, going after the injured party. Getting a hook. There you go. It really is that simple. And up they go. Decent enough start. Possibly sprint burst from V. Maybe not. Maybe they just got away quickly. And it's a DC on the hook. Okay. And I'm hearing from the board immediately that they consider this a valid game. What's the difference between this and what the Wraith saw? Well, there was an actual chase, an actual dying state, an actual hook. The killer did do some effective stuff to elicit the DC. It wasn't just unprovoked, so therefore it counts. And the Skull Merchant gets to enjoy what could be a very, very, very profitable game state here. As they do vault, okay. Good stuff from her, getting the old Killer Shack dying state. You've got to be happy with that. But there goes the first gem. The DC against Skull Merchant is quite extraordinary. Don't know what's going on with that. This is not the Skull Merchant of yore. This is a different beast entirely. But what she does have now, is the opportunity to go after the bot who had live. Maybe the survivor was unhappy they weren't able to get live out there. Whatever the case, we can only wonder, we can only posit. Maybe there'll be some illumination in post-game chat. For now, looking very good for Skull Merchant. Xenomorph camp maybe beginning to sweat a little bit. They'll be backing their customer, they'll be backing their killer to put forward an effective performance. But it looks already like they might be looking down the barrel of a 12-hook stage performance. Way too early to say, but the signs are looking good. The signs are looking very good indeed. There's scratch marks. Heading to the shack. V commits to the gen. Doesn't look like it is sprint burst, by the way. Hide the red stain for as long as possible. And could be an injury. Ooh, worth a go, worth a go. Boon in play. Gotta get rid of that. Could be Dark Theory. And on shack, it could be ruinous. Show red stain. Come back. Do they vault back? They do not. Stuff the boon while you're here. Hoping to keep V on the shack. The Skull Merchant does. Vault there. They vault that time. And they get the pallet. Oh my lord, what an unbelievable lunge. You gotta be disappointed if you're V, and they are disappointed. 2 Vs, 2 DCs. 3 gens remaining. Right, if you're Skull Merchant, if you're the Skull Merchant camp, they'll be in her ear right now. Saying bot tunnel, bot tunnel, bot tunnel. The easiest possible way of making this a very profitable 2 survivor venture. Find those bots, take those easy chases. Get yourself a 4K is what they'll be saying. And there is the bot. And that's why you want to prioritize these chases, crouching in the middle of nowhere. Just bot things. Hashtag just bot things. And this side of the car, want to push them towards the periphery, taking the injury and the pallet stun. They go for something there, and they run to the wall. There's a pallet! Wow. As the clicks into the blind, this bot is not to be trifled with. As Rick James thought about taking a hit for the bot, then thinks better of it, probably wisely. In a game state like this, you need to be getting the gens as soon as possible. Remember, by the way, it's live for the bot. They do have another pallet here. They drop it. They keep on running. There's your dying state. Rick James? I meant Rick Grimes. Not Rick James. As there's a super freak on the right-hand side looking to take a hit for V. Okay, first kill. 3 survivor situation, and like we were saying, you gotta prioritize the bots here. Dramaturgy for the bot. Dramaturgy for V. It won't be exposed, they'll scream, okay. And taking a path that takes them away from the window, away from the pallet. Drone down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Odd bot maneuver there. Dramaturgy, so no fear of dead hard. Take the dying state. And it's exactly what you wanted. 2 survivor situation with a handful of gens remaining. Very good stuff. In a game which may be forgotten for any of the spectacular Skull Merchant plays and may be remembered simply as the Rick James game. Such is the life of a DBD commentator. Can't believe it. Okay, Laurie Strode. Heading around Shack here. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. They've got to make a huge call on the window here. Get it wrong and you're in a dying state. They vault. And that'll be all she wrote. Dying state there. Could that... Did I hear Rick Grimes, a.k.a. Rick James, around Shack? Skull Merchant thought she did. Doesn't bother with any such concerns. Gets the hook. Now. The radar here is not necessary. Hold on. Gem pops. But where? Did they get rid of the gem bubbles? By the way. I'm noticing a distinct lack of gem bubbles. There's the unhook. Hang on. No, maybe the gem was very, very close and that's why you didn't get a bubble. Not entirely sure. Whatever the case. Heading back. Did you 4%? Well done. It's a common bug. Oh, what a shock. Thank you. Appreciate it. Get a drone out there. You could, if you found a pallet, or even a door, there will be a door here, have a chance of thwack intel. That could be important. Oh my god, the hook death. Oh, but there's Rick. Okay. Intel on Rick, but you're going to play it safe. You're going to play it safe. That's great intel to have for Skull Merchant. What you're going to do is head to Shack, shut the hatch. You don't want to have a hag situation here. Heavens no. And then you know that Rick is going to be on that gate. So that's where you head immediately. Good stuff from Skull Merchant. Taking stock of the situation, playing it in the safest possible way. And Rick should be behind this boulder. This boulder. It's a damn shame. How about this locker? How about this locker? Okay, well. I was singing the Skull Merchant's plaudits. Is there a chance that was the wrong move? Is there a chance that Rick now has circled around to maybe get that gate? It seems very unlikely. How about thwack here? Nothing, huh? Nothing. Okay. Over to the other gate. This is such a huge endgame situation as well. Bear in mind, Rick has not been hooked once. This right now, finding Rick, is the difference between a 9-hook situation and a 12-hook situation. One, unbeatable. The other, so beatable. Unbelievably beatable. So things are looking pretty scary right now. It's just a really annoying gate situation there, trying to see the lights through the window. Are they on this gate? No lights there. And now there might not be enough time. In all sincerity, they've booned? They've booned? Maybe it is Rick James, because that is a super freaky play. And there they are. That'd be all she wrote. GG. He's alright. He's alright. Alright, well played, GG. Okay, Xenomorph on Macmillan as well, albeit a different variant of Macmillan. Down into the tunnel. Looking for early intel, looking for early footsteps. And nothing here. Heading all the way over to this gen. Nothing here either. Hearing and seeing nothing. There you go, footsteps to this gen, okay. Needed the intel, finding the intel. As V does not want to take on Shaq. Flees it entirely. Someone to the left. Good to know. Good to know. But Xenomorph going to stick on the first chase here, trying to get a dying state as swiftly as possible. Taking a nice efficient line around main. Oh, just had the wrong sense of what the actual tile was. Thought it was the window. It was just the door, so the tail attack does not land true. Could be an opportunity here. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Okay. I'm going to kick this, because this could be annoying down the line for Xenomorph. And there you go, a reasonably quick opening chase. And basement suits Xenomorph down to the ground here. Nice. It's a DC. What is it with the V gamers today? Not taking any, not committing to any kind of games here. It's ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. Okay. Well, regardless. Great start for Xenomorph again. They had a chase, they had a hook, then the DC, so this game will count. Hoping to get Pop Goes the Weasel out there. And does. Eventually. And then over to Dwight. Just absolutely absurd work. It looked like they momentarily were going for that control station. And then, in hitting the turret, Xenomorph actually lost them. They went over this way, okay. Losing a gen. Got rid of a few flame turrets there, at least. And then blast mine. Anyone going to go in for the basement unhook here? What could be very profitable for Xenomorph. They've delayed the basement hook such that you can get back at least over here and put some pressure on it. And there is actually someone nearby. And it's Dalita. And there's two people hanging around in basement. Hold on. Hold on just a second. You might just shun the chase in favour of... They're still down here. They're still down here. It's the bot. Another scream over there. There's someone still down here, however. Xenomorph's reasonably confident of it. Yeah, they're Sable. Okay. Injury there. Can you turn this into a 2 dying state situation? That would put Xenomorph in an incredibly strong spot. Certainly will. Now, can you get Sable back down to basement? Because if you can have those 2 survivors down in the basement, you're loving life. But it's just a bit too far. Just a bit too far. Not gonna risk it. Gonna take the hook, play things safely. And there's an aura of an injured party. Swim burst. It isn't. Into a locker. Hide. That's not quite going to do it. There's Dwight now nearby. Hold on just a second. Things are looking unbelievable for Xenomorph here. Remember, you still have the bot in the dying state. And with both other survivors fleeing the scene, back there is where Xenomorph will head. Hoping that the bot hasn't crawled away. God bless the bots. Save all! What are you doing? DS, just in case, why not pick up the bot first? Over to basement. He's over there. Sable crawling away very much implies there is no DS in play. If it were DS, you'd want to... Yeah, there you go. You'd want to crawl towards the killer. Get the pickup as soon as possible. Right. Down below, looking for footsteps. Oh. Aura reading right here. Intel over there, take the hook. What an unbelievable game this is. Almost no fight being offered by the survivors, maybe demoralized as they are by that early DC. Again, we've said it so many times, you can only go against the opposition that's in front of you. So, into the tunnels goes Xenomorph. Put yourself in the thick of the action here. Tail attack on Blight. Another great bit of intel all across the map. Still 3 gens left. So many hook statuses. The bot has plot twisted. I mean, it's going from bad to worse for the team as Dwight. Well, into the dying state. First hook for Dwight. So much intel. The add-on there. Giving tons of intel. And fair play to the bot. The plot twist does work out. Alien Instinct giving you the aura reading over there. Why not head over conventionally? An outside chance you can get there before the hill goes through. More likely, they'll just complete the hill. But Sable's here, it's the intra-party. So that'd be Sable out of there. There was someone all the way in that corner, so it could be a good idea to head that way. Although, maybe I'm more concerned. It should be the bot over here. Maybe I'm more concerned with Thalita, because they're the only person who could aggressively go for hatch here. Who's this? This is the bot. This is V. Victory there. So there is Thalita. Moving in for the save, pivoting. Pivoting is Xenomorph, just makes a ton of sense. Injury there, M1, runs into a boulder, goes through a window, tail attack. Ooh, doesn't quite connect. Was it a bit low? Was the range maybe not quite there? Whatever the case, there is the dying state and there is the hook. And now it's just hatch prevention from the bot, which should be pretty easy to do. There is the bot, in fact. And honestly, hopefully we won't brew our words here. Hard to see a way that the bot maneuvers their way to hatch. They're maneuvering their way to hatch. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All is fine. Dying state there. Huge play. Getting the final hook before hatch has even spawned. And Skull Merchant put up a great fight. Xenomorph up to the task. It will be a 12-12 draw, almost even. A point goes to each party. Well done. Over to the spreadsheet. Skull Merchant 12, Xenomorph 12. So Xenomorph, first draw of their campaign. 30 hook total. Skull Merchant in the points. 1 point to her name. 19 hook total there. It keeps Group H very, very even. Everyone has a chance. Absolutely everyone has a chance here. Right, so we have one more game of round 3. It is the Dark Lord versus the Krasue. Two very strong competitors here. Dracula in Hawkins. Immediate platform. Very muffled voice there for Dracula. I don't know if that's another little audio bug going on. No moving up there. It sounds like, though it is difficult to hear over the screeching of the bats. It's a totem build for Dracula. It's a very it's a unique build for Dracula. Trying to make the most use of human greed and of dominance or domination or whatever it is, and that is not where he wanted to go. Where is he? Oh dearie me. Okay. Tough start for Dracula. Tough map for Dracula, in all honesty. Can be tough to know your position, especially when you are flying around as the bats. So go back up here. And it's Siri. There they are. Dropping down. They drop the pallet immediately. They do not. That's an M1. Move back around. You want to keep them as far from the stairs as you can. Deny them that opportunity. Nice. Good stuff from Dracula. Just put the Hellfire a bit to the right. It might have missed. It might have missed if they were on the ball and just hid to the left. But thankfully, it connects. Good start. After a bit of a slow opening, did well to come back for the dying state. And now back to the bats. There's a bit of movement here. Oh, a lot of movement here. So very, very good to stop them. Devour Hope in play. There's your first stack there. Lots to like for Dracula. Going war form to try and close this down. A pre-drop there is actually not a bad shout. It works pretty well for them. Trying to deny the window. And honestly, you're maybe not too fearful of them going up here. As that is actually balanced. I've done well to make that happen. But a reasonably quick chase there. The only unfortunate thing, the Cubozoe won't do too much good right now. Other than that, an okay start. Over to Bats. Looking for a teleport somewhere. Make sure this gen's still regressing. Yep, no one in here. Okay, good, 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 good. Right, and then get away from the hook as quickly as possible. You feel like you might be needing Devour Hope to be doing some good stuff here. There's the unhook, okay. Well, in that case, why not head back, right? Why not head back, keep up the pressure? You got the benefit of the Devour Hope stack. Now seeking a little bit more. I say, don't burn the pallet. That might be a bit greedy. Fake out the Hellfire. Should be enough for the M1, right? It will not be. Fair enough. Good line taken from Claire. Oh. Dracula mind gaming the pallet. As if there wasn't a wide open door on the other side. Alright. Bit of a slow passage to play, especially after the reasonably quick chases that he was enjoying. Hoping they panic. They do. There's the injury. Claire now stuck upstairs. This is very good for Dracula. No pallet. Door's blocked off. They're going to try and go for the window. You want to fake out instinctively as a survivor there. So Dracula gets a dying state. Again, the Cubozoe. That purple add-on. Been a bit of a whiff on that one so far. Not quite getting the value when you'd want to, but one mustn't argue with results. Oh god. Maybe one can start arguing with results. That's a couple of really unfortunate gens. And won't get over here in time to put any kind of pressure on. Alright, gotta get back on the gens here. Remember, Devour Hope could be in play at some point soon. Can't get too close to that hook. You want to get that next stack. Ooh, aura reading from Human Greed. So important there. There's your injury. There's a stack. Oh, if only you'd waited just a moment longer. You would have had the Devour Hope exposed hit. How unfortunate. Pallet's gone here, so this will be a dying state nonetheless. You really want to hide Devour Hope, so go for that. And that gets them around here. The drop of the pallet. Go for it. You gotta go for the dying state. That, however, That's Devour Hope that's gone. It's a damn shame. With how quickly the gen's moving, you probably were relying on that. Oh, there's the Sabo. Good play from Claire. You were probably relying on that, especially in a situation like this, to bring the game back, but Devour Hope's gone. Oh, and they were thinking about the pallet. Probably should have dropped it here. Hellfire doesn't connect. Great play from Claire. Find a way to get the pallet. Not dropping that is ridiculous work, but it's making stuff happen for them. There you go. Would have been a bold gamer who refuses to drop it at the third time of asking, and they were just waiting. And got hit by the Hellfire. Okay. Not only did they get the pickup, they get the heal here, which is absolutely revolting. These bat teleports have not quite been what Dracula wanted either. Finding himself in tough positions. Right, no movement here. Teleport to the pallet. Get back to the hook. Swing by this gen on the way. And there's Siri, okay. Who again doesn't drop that pallet. Takes an entirely different line to Claire. Bounce landing, yeah, makes a lot of sense. Pallet here could be a pre-drop. No, well played. Ah, but no pallet here means that will be. And then one, an injury. Maybe war form here, just try and keep on them. And they're not committing to any tile. And Dracula should have been aware of that. Pivoting around. Ooh, bad move. Just pounce for the reasonably fast pallet breaking. Get that centaur, keep on them. Hoping that the door's open here. Big gem moving upstairs. Gonna try and put it under pressure. Because if you go here and then do this... Ah, what a shame. Hoping that he could catch them unawares by teleporting up, then going Dracula form, kind of body blocking them on the gen. Doesn't quite work out. So there's the injury. Does very technically get hold, but in service of the injury, he won't mind that. They burn the pallet, and that is the easiest Hellfire of all time for Dracula. Okay, as there goes Ruin. At this stage in the game, it's impactful, but it's also kind of done its job, you would say. Now, what that does mean is that he's going to need to head up here, make sure this is now regressing. Head back down. So some gem movement here as well. Well, these are good, efficient moves from Dracula. Sincerely, he's bringing this back now. Hellfire here. Do they have any chance to dodge? They do not. Great Hellfire. Put it exactly where he needed to, with the timing that he needed as well. Are they going to keep on running, panic, and walk right into the wharf? Yep. No! Styptic! Oh, a frustrating play. A good play. Getting a little bit of haste there. I say, don't burn the pallet. That's outrageous. However, there could be a chance for Cube of Zoe value here. No. Nope. Nothing of the sort. There's a drop. Heading upstairs. So that'll be a vault immediately till they get to the pallet. Oh, they got balance landing. Should have been wise to that. Should have been a bit more wary of that. And a valiant attempt with the pounces. This could be all over for Dracula. This is a horrendously overlong chase. Trying to force the wolf form where the vampire form has been far more valuable for him. Okay, as that will be a fake out of the Hellfire, denial of the pallet, and another hook. Only one add-on, don't worry about it. Basement down here. Nothing to help him in the endgame. He is relying on altruism alone here. No movement. needs a way to teleport over there. And finds it. Ah, that takes a rough line there. Has to go all the way around. Just make sure that no one's hiding around the panel, as they so often do in these situations. No scratch marks. Some scratch marks. As there goes Siri. Gates open. War form. Need a pounce here. It's a pounce or nothing. Oh. It was so close to magical. The only question now, does someone make a mistake and fall victim to a pounce on the exit line? Give it a go. He's got to go for some kind of gambit here. And just not quite able to get there. GG. The Krasue TikTok that went up yesterday actually got some numbers, which is good. Lesson learned. Ooh. I've not heard that before. Krasue starting us with a song here. Another Macmillan. Missing a lot of Macmillan. A lot of Macmillan so far today, and it continues here. So, Krasue has 6 hook stages to beat. 6 hook stages for a tie, 7 hook stages for a win. See what they can do here. Chasing Lara Croft. That's Nicolas Cage at balanced landing, unfortunately. Might not be an awful chaser, you know they've already used their exhaustion perk in a kind of unforced manner. Ooh, as they double back through the window, good play, and they stay on that tile. This wall is a bit irritating. Very strange. And Krasue has some assistance with the head form, but you're not going to get hits like that. As they drop the pallet. Do you know what? Take the kick while it's available. It is a long Z, isn't it? It certainly is a long Z. Okay, so where does Nicolas Cage head to with that? Still on the shack. There they are. Injury there with the head form. Going after him with the flight. And turning the corner. And there's your dying state. Now you know there is someone else here looking for the save. I think it's Jake who's on save patrol here. So certainly... Oh, 2 people going for the save. Okay. That doesn't connect. What of my auto-aim? I saw the TikTok. I know this has auto-aim. I want some of that action. Hoping that whoever else is here isn't able to position themselves for the save, but they are. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Okay, head form. Looking for a dying state here. And that won't quite connect. Trying to slide around. Good job taking the body block there. Okay, gotta go head form. Gotta get them leeched. Good stuff. Back to head form. And big old miss. Things are not looking good here for the Krasue. Trying to get around the wall. They fake out the vault. Should be an M1 in play here. Horrible miss. Good moves. Smooth moves from Jake here, denying the Krasue. Been a very slow start. And another miss. What's going on with the Krasue here? There was a recent nerf to her moveset. Clearly feeling the brunt of those here. And this should be all she wrote. Right, finally. A hook in play. Certainly want to get some of these doors broken. I don't think I've seen the head form kick animation yet. I like the little spin move to make that happen. Alright, so Nicolas Cage has found a fungus, is removing the leeched effect, and has done so. So it's got to be body form here to reapply that very important effect. well played. Oh, but it still connects, and then the M1. And there's the power of the Krasue right there. Gets the effect. Gets the M1 almost immediately, and now Lara's in a very tough spot. Head flight. Head flight around Shaq. And just tough to see how you can even counter that. There it is. And that's what we're talking about when we're saying about the strength of the Krasue and why she, theoretically, should be a force in this tournament. Just haven't seen it so far. Up on her they go. Head flight, fleeing the scene. Reasonable movement here, worth a kick. Patroller Gen's over here. She does have something of a 3-gen here. As you're remembering, of course, the total of 6 hooks is what you're looking at. Get another kick out there. 4 potential eruption plays down the line. And oh, what a ridiculous leeched effect that is. Hits them from the top floor, for God's sake. There's the M1. And then watch this again. Watch this for Krasue, and this is why she is so powerful. Head flight, leeched, M1, flight done, M1, and that is why if she can kick it into high gear, you might be seeing a deep playoff run if she can get past this admittedly very, very tough group. Another gen pops. 2 gens left. You're hoping that eruption could stall the flow of gens. It's not been the case there. She does have Pop Goes a Weasel to rely upon. Plenty of aggression there. Still have this 3-gen of sorts. And that's progressing. Nice, okay. Reasons to be optimistic for the Krasue here. Halfway to that hook total. Every chance of taking home all 3 points from this encounter. And in doing so, putting herself squarely in that playoff conversation. Big movement here. Get Pop Goes Weasel. Very likely that someone now would be moving in for the save. If not now, then when? Time is a-wasting. No movement on that, gen. Big Pop Goes a Weasel kick over there as well, which buys a lot of time. And you might feel comfortable taking the chase here. That unfortunately doesn't connect. Nicolas Cage has been pretty good against Krasue so far this game. They all have, to be clear. There's the M2 into the M1. That's so powerful. Head form here. Nicolas Cage to a pallet. Drops it. Volt. And finds another one. Drops it. Volt. Just so tough here, because you can just fly, and sooner or later you run out of pallets. So there's your dying state. Ridiculous chase, that. It does allow them, though. It does allow them the unhook. Puts them in a good position in that regard. Pop Goes a Weasel, so vital here. Look at how far along this gen is. So, 4 hooks. 2/3 of the way there. And a survivor... maybe in this locker. Surely not. You were thinking and hoping you were maybe given a freebie there. And you cannot be giving Krasue free hooks like that. And indeed they didn't. Indeed they did not. Gen there, still regressing. There were survivors moving in. Not entirely sure where they've gone. As there is Jake. And the leech doesn't connect there. Nor there. Gets around Shaq, Volts. And... trying this. That also does not connect. This is pretty rubbish from the Krasue. Into the wall. There it is. M1. Head form. So even after a really diabolically bad opening chase, still in a really good position too, with a well-placed flight and an M1. Get the dying state, and... there it is. So absurd. Another hook. Takes her to 5. There goes a gen. Things are still going to be pretty close here. Things are still going to be pretty tight. That pressure point over there. Where she needs to go. Another Pop Goes a Weasel kick. Pop Goes a Weasel saving her bacon. No doubt about it. As it's Nicolas Cage. What a shot from the Krasue. A lot of chat about how easy to hit the regurgitation can be, but there was nothing granted to her there. That was just outrageously good. You can go head form now. Remember, it's balanced landing. Keeping on Nicolas Cage. So this is to get to a draw. This is to get to that 6 hook total. The vault there, not an especially important play. You can vault this. Turn the corner. Windows should be blocked now. They're going to try and go back to the pallet. They'll make that happen. Oh, they've got rid of their leeched effect, so we've got to go body form here. What a shame. Into the hook. Just missing on that occasion. And that doesn't connect either. That will. M1 here. Good play for Nicholas. Gotta get the kick. Head form. Almost lost Nicholas there. Refinds him. Oh, as they just vault the pallet in time and do so again. Should be an opportunity for a hit. There it is. There's the injury. What's so important about this is that if you can just secure the kill on Nicolas Cage, that'll be the win. That'll take Krasue to 7 hooks. The team won't want to give that away, no doubt about it. But what can they do? We'll see. We'll see. Oh god, 99 gate there already. Ooh, this is going to be tough. So, she gets 6 hooks. It is a draw right now. It is a tie, 6 hook total. Trying to go for the leech status on Jake. Doesn't get it. Getting the leech status on these remaining survivors. So important here. What you could even do is regurgitate into the hook, get the bounce. Good connection there on Jake. Is anyone else moving in for the save? You can't see anyone right now, but that does not mean that they're not there. As Jake moves in, and then moves back. Moves in, moves in, moves in. There's the unhook. Trade out there. You just need another hook status. It's that simple. You might not get it here. Head form. You're going all in on Nicolas Cage. And waiting out endurance. Oh, dearie me. She might have thrown away the win. Gotta go over to Fung. Is Fung heading back to this hook? To this gate, sorry. They're there. They're there, and it's all over. Unless someone makes a horrendous mistake right now. Dearie me. So it'll be just a tie. 1 point apiece. Jake injured. And hold on, it isn't over yet. It's over. It's over. GG. A 6-6 tie. Equally dismal stuff from both parties. They escape with a point each. 6-6. How intriguing. Not seen a 6-6 before. Certainly this year. Dredge did not play. What are you doing? That was Dark Lord, who gets a point versus Krasue, who also gets a point here. So we'll sort Group H. By points and then by hooks, both descending. So, entering round 3. Here's the state of play. Starting from Group A. Group A, Mastermind on top. Looking very solid. Looking like the playoffs are all but assured here. 7 points. Trickster, 2 games in hand. 4 points to his name. Ghoul, 2 points, but also has 2 games still to play. Lich in a very tough position here. All but out of the playoffs. Would need a miracle to get in. Technically still has a chance. 1 game to play, 1 point to his name. Freddy, 2 games to play, 1 point. Languishing at the bottom of Group A. Group B, Spirit on top. Similar situation to Mastermind. Looking very strong on 7 points there. Huntress in second on 4. Nemesis on 3. Knight also on 3, but only 1 game left to play for the Knight. Executioner on the bottom. 2 losses. A disappointing campaign for him so far. Still not out of it. Group C. Myers on top, just barely on better hook differential. 4 points to his name, unknown in second. Also 4 points, but on 29 hooks. I think I said 4 hooks for Myers. Clearly it's 4 points. 32 hooks for Myers. Legion in third place, again 4 points. 24 hooks to their name, but they have a game in hand. So Legion looking very, very strong in Group C. Pig on 2 points and Plague on the bottom with 1 point. Group D. Nurse on top, 7 points. Trapper in second on 6. Cannibal, 3 points. Chucky eliminated, only 1 point and only 1 game to play. Twins on the bottom, need their first win. They have 0 points right now. One of only 2 killers with 0. Group E, Artist looking dominant, 6 points to her name. Clown in second place on 4 points. Demogorgon in third. Doctor in fourth. And Hag on the bottom there. Oh, sorry, another killer of 0 points is Hag. Another disappointing campaign so far for Hag. Houndmaster on top of Group F. 5 points to her name. Oni in second. Followed by Slinger, Cenobite and Billy. All on 2 points apiece. Very wide open group is Group F. Group G. Blight on top with 5 points. Wraith in second with 4. Singularity, Onryo and Ghostface all have a game in hand. Singularity in third there. Xenomorph, Dark Lord, Krasue all have 4 points. Xenomorph currently on top on the greater hook differential, but Krasue with a game in hand. Dredge and Skull Merchant on the bottom of Group H. If Chucky's out and has points, why aren't Twins out? Because Twins have 1 more game still to play. Twins have only played 2. Chucky's played 3. The best that Chucky could do is get a win in their final game. That would put them on 4 points, but 4 points would not be enough to get past Trapper or Nurse. Therefore, the best Chucky can do is get third place. Therefore, Chucky will not be making it through to the playoffs as group winner or runner-up. There you go. And we'll be seeing more of those eliminations and possible clinch scenarios as we start round 4.